Hello guys and welcome to the Watchalong at Stretford Paddock of Manchester United versus RB Leipzig in the Champions League. Now we have had a last minute substitution. It's not Jay Motti, you can see there. It's Casey Evans. Casey, how are we doing, mate?
I'm decent, yeah. I mean, obviously last minute, came in, talking about the game, get to watch the game.
That's good. It's not too bad, is it?
Not too bad.
Anyway, we have all sorts coming up. We've got Stephen Howson's opposition preview. He'll be bringing you that very shortly. We'll have the pre-game show that yours truly was hosted with some of your predictions, with predictions from all over the world coming in. We'll then have the team. We've also got the team news. That'll be hosted by Adam McKola and Stephen Howson. But before that, let's have a chat about the two managers because they've both been having a bit of a chat, haven't they?
Yeah, they've had a bit
about each other, about the teams, about where they kind of fit.
Surprisingly, I mean, obviously both been talking about United in a positive way, which is very weird.
Yes, it makes a change, doesn't it?
It does.
It does make a change. So, anyway, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to start with. He's obviously talking about great performance last week in Paris. The Chelsea game kind of marred that a little bit. But let's forget about that. We're talking Champions League. Make sure, by the way, make sure you're in the comments. Make sure you're doing all that. And also, I'll plug it later on, but make sure you're using on Twitter, hashtag Paddock Matchday all the way through. But going on to Ollie, talking about the PSG game, what's he been saying, Casey?
Well, he says he looks at every single game as a chance to get 3 points in the group stage, and for 4 teams he thinks 10 points will get you through, and he's get 19 points as quick as we can is our aim, which
19
is...
points?
I don't even think...
I think he means 10. Yeah,
I think he means 10.
That must have been 10 points. Because 10 points is the goal in Champions League football. I think that usually gets you through. A bit of a strange kind of group with having 3 very strong teams in it. Almost.
I mean, the constant in Champions League is always win your own games, try and get something away. That's the sort of difference. But you look at our group, we're playing the 2 strongest teams to begin with. Obviously, Istanbul Başakşehir.
Yeah.
The one that Rafael plays for now is going to be the one where you think we will win both, hopefully.
So we need them 6 points there. And I think the PSG game has kind of taken a little bit of pressure off this because if we'd have got a point last week, if we'd have been beaten last week, I think that you need, like Ollie said, you win your home games, you try and get a few points away. That's not your priority. If you win your home games and get 3 points away from home total, you're going to get through the group. But with that bonus, it's almost bonus win at Paris last week. It takes a little bit of pressure off tonight. And but talking about the squad for Manchester United, it's obviously a few notable names missing. Victor Lindelof being one of them. Are you too surprised at that? He's played a lot of games. There's nothing been said so far on whether he's been injured or not. So what do you reckon to Lindelof's absentee?
It's interesting because obviously Lindelof he's played pretty well the last 2 games. He's played. Really he managed to close out Werner for an entire 60-70 minutes. And obviously against PSG he was very good in that 3-man defence. And that's another thing that I would say that we're looking at the 3-man defence with that Tellez played wing back against PSG and he's also not in the squad, which is interesting. And both of them have just been sort of injuries that have just come out of nowhere because obviously Tellez wasn't in the squad against Chelsea and no one seems to know why or if he's injured or something like that.
Well, the Chelsea one was kind of everyone went, look, he played the 60 minutes in the week. Premier League football, very much a strong game kind of thing. Different kind of thing, and you can understand why he wouldn't throw him in at Chelsea. Yeah. Chelsea at home, it's a very different thing to Paris away. And
then you also look at the fact of if he wasn't going to play a 3-man defence, Tellez is very attacking, and then with obviously Chelsea's attacking options. A 3-man, Tellez at left back would have been very attacking. It probably wouldn't have worked out the same. A
lot of comments there a lot of comments saying Tellez should start. A lot of them saying any news on Tellez. There hasn't been any news. Ollie's not been mentioned, been asked about it. A lot of it have been talking about Donny van der Beek and how he's not been playing too many games and things like that. And that goes on to rotation that Ollie's been saying.
It seems to be there's obviously a massive focus on Donny van der Beek and Solskjaer was talking about rotation. He said, we're in special circumstances, we're playing 2 or 3 games relentlessly until the end of the season, which is right. You look at the season, we're 7 games into 50-odd games, probably. And then there's Euros and a new season. So he said, there's any chance to give a player a breather would be welcome. Don't want to push players too hard as there's risk of an injury. That human side is going to be big this season and we need to look after the team. So Donny van der Beek obviously hasn't started yet.
No.
He's just been substitute appearance, and that is the interesting factor that a lot of pundits have focused on. Why have we spent the money? Why have we brought him in? And there's some people saying he's made a mistake in this move. And again, as I've said, it's 7 games into a 50-odd game season. He's going to get his chances.
It's chaos, and I'm going to put a prediction out there right now. Donny van der Beek isn't going to play again. Isn't going to start again tonight. I don't see it starting. I still see, especially with the lack of tellers in the squad. I definitely think that we're going to have to go. Luke Shaw's going to have to play on one side, especially with either playing the 3 or it's going to be Tuanzebe Maguire. I think McTominay and Fred are going to start. Maybe he rests Bruno and puts Pogba in there, but I don't think Donny van der Beek's going to start. And I don't think people should be panicked that much.
People seem to forget Donny van der Beek hasn't played competitive football since March, because obviously they got knocked out of the Europa League by Getafe in February, March, and then obviously Eredivisie finished in March. So he hasn't played competitive football in 10 months. The same as Tuanzebe, which people were like, why didn't he start against Chelsea? He'd been injured from 10 months, and he literally was thrown in against Paris Saint-Germain, and then we don't want to kind of force him back.
Yeah. So it's sorry, there's a comment there from Adam Wilmot. Hard to fit Bruno, Pogba and Van der Beek in the same system. And I totally agree. You're not going to play all 3 of them. And like you said there, Van der Beek hasn't played that much first-team football a lot this year. Like you said, March was probably the last time he played at all. Then you've got Bruno that's been, I think, the standout of all those 3, even when all of them have played. And Pogba, Ollie even admitted in the press conference this week that he wasn't fit and he wasn't quite ready to be playing, and it was a mistake that to play Pogba and start him, especially in the first few games of the season. Moving on though, RB Leipzig, a bit of an odd team almost, where they've kind of come, obviously only 10 years old kind of the team. They've grown into this quite a strong team with really good players. Nagelsmann gets a lot of very good press. A lot of people saying that he's probably wants to take over probably one of the Manchester clubs. Is potentially one. Everyone says that United are probably going to look at him. He's the next one, but then City. There's rumours that he maybe is Pep's replacement at City, but he's been talking about.
He's been linked with Chelsea in the past. It's just there's been tons of teams he's linked with. But obviously, you said he's been talking about it, and he's been talking about how United's flexibility.
Yep.
He's been talking about how they started the World campaign against PSG, and he says, but he believes his team has what it takes to beat us. And I think when you look at their team on paper, and Steele will go into it a lot more in his opposition preview.
Yeah.
They're a very flexible team with a lot of players who can change the way they play on a hairpin. Like the manager could go switch the system and they can do it, because obviously I've seen Angelino play at wing back, I've seen him play at left back, I've seen him play at left wing. That's just a player that I'm just pointing out, which as I said, Steele probably go into more. But they're a very hard team and they're a very weird team, like you said.
Yep. Just a quick bit of news. There's been some people saying on Twitter that Victor Lindelof is with the squad. There's a few rumours going around. So even though he wasn't put it's usually the MEM that get the picture of the players coming in through into the hotel. He wasn't pictured there and didn't look like he was going to play. Victor Lindelof looks like he is with the team, so potentially there is again a lot of people asking about tellers. There isn't any news yet. I reckon just after the team news gets announced, they usually go to the managers, and I think that will probably be one of the questions that they ask about why Tellers isn't in this squad.
I mean,
as well.
the thing is, they said that the MEN they said that they took the pictures of everyone coming in, and that's how they get their squad list. And it said the reason they might not have seen Tellers was he lives at the Lowry currently.
Yeah, but they've changed hotels this week.
But they've changed hotels this week, so that's another thing. But then that was the reason why everyone was like, oh, he might be in the squad then, and then he obviously wasn't in it at all. So
another one we're talking about here, Nagelsmann saying, I think if we get their front 4 under control, then we've got a good chance of winning. And I think that, again, is essentially what a lot of teams look to do. I think that United tonight have the full array of our attacking talent. At least everyone seems to be fit with that. You've got Martial, who's obviously not suspended in the Champions League. And I think they're going to be looking at, if you can shut down us there, maybe press our back 4 and our midfield 2, if it is Fred and McTominay, that's where they can hurt us.
Yeah, but then you also have to look at the fact that now this isn't the United of last season where it was that front 4 and then that was it. If that didn't work, what were we going to do? You've obviously brought in Cavani. Pogba's been dropping to the bench and coming on later on for more creativity. You've obviously got Ivor Greenwood. Dan James might play a part, and we don't know how he'll act, or we'll see what happens there. But there's a lot of flexibility and there's a lot of tactical changes that we can make. And I think Cavani will play a big part. I think in that sort of sense, in that sort of thing. And Nagelsmann's gone on to say that they've got a lot of great quality, which was what I was about to say. Fernandes especially has a lot of quality in the final third with those final balls. Yeah. And that's the sort of thing. We've got different players and we've got unpredictability. Yeah. Because that's the thing that Pogba and Fernandes bring to the team. They'll play it over the top and then they'll be able to get it inside.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Well, big game coming up. Let's make sure you are getting your score predictions in the comments all the way through. But first, we've got a bit of an opposition preview. To find out a little bit more about RB Leipzig, here is Stephen Howson with a bit more of an in-depth look at our opposition.
Right then, we are only moments away from kickoff, and we're only moments away from seeing what United's team are. But let's have a look at what Leipzig, how Manchester United can beat these guys. Let's have a look at what United are going to be facing in an hour or so's time. So then, Julian Nagelsmann, one of the most tactically astute coaches in European football, possibly even the world. And with Leipzig, he's got one of the most tactically flexible teams as well. And that's not by accident, that's literally by design. And that works with and without Timo Werner. So Leipzig have got loads of technically gifted players, loads of them. And they also have tireless work rates, which makes Leipzig an absolute nightmare to play against. And that's also helped them soar to the top of the Bundesliga with an undefeated start to this season's campaign. Now, when you're facing a tactically fluid manager like Nagelsmann, it's important to predict how he's going to set up his team. He went with a 4-1-4-1 against Başakşehir in game week 1, in a similar way to what Pep Guardiola would do at City. Gulaschi is their first choice goalkeeper, and Angelino, the club's top scorer this season with 4 goals, will be starting at left back. I expect Heinrich is going to be filling in at right back due to injuries. Upamecano, unsurprisingly, ever present in defence, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of talk about Upamecano this week, simply because we're playing them and people want that SEO little click where they can join the dots up. We might have done it ourselves. Ibrahima Kanate is probably going to be the one making a return alongside him at centre defence. Kevin Campbell should operate in a holding midfield role with Olmo and Forsberg ahead of them as like number 8s. Sabitzer and Nkunku are likely to start on the wings, with Yusuf Poulsen acting as the sole striker. But I wouldn't be surprised if Nagelsmann opts for a 3 at the back. Whenever he chooses to start with, will likely be altered as the game goes on. That's something that you've got to watch with Leipzig, that they'll start in one formation and it will evolve into something entirely different. And this is where Solskjaer has to be on the ball with his substitution. And he won't get many tactical tests as good as this one or as challenging as this one, as they will move into something else. And as we're on the watch-along later, make sure you check it out. And if you spot what they're doing or what they've changed to, let us know in the comments and we'll have a chat about that as it goes on. The one to watch, people are thinking Sabitzer. Poulsen's a beast. I think it's going to be Christopher Nkunku. In the absence of Timo Werner, following his departure, and Sabitzer has obviously been through injury, Leipzig have needed other attacking players to step up. And for me, Christopher Nkunku has been the standout in what's been a pretty free-flowing attack for them this season. Although the goal scoring has mainly been executed by Angelino, Poulsen, Forsberg, and Nkunku's creative performances have made him a crucial part of what Nagelsmann tries to do with Leipzig. He's registered 2 assists in 6 appearances so far this season, only battered by Olmo with 3, and he's created a ridiculous 17 chances in just those few games. He's created 2.83 chances per night, with the closest teammate being Howson on 1.25. He's absolutely cruising this season, and United definitely need to keep an eye on him if we're going to have any hope whatsoever in this game. Whilst other regular attackers have been maintaining pretty average pass accuracies, like Olmo's got 76, Forsberg's got 76, Poulsen 75, Nkunku's pass success is 85%. In the final third, you expect a little bit of a lower pass completion rate. That's just the way it goes down. But with him, what we've seen is absolutely smashing it, and everyone is loving what they're seeing with him so far. Feature on either the left wing or the right wing, he comes in as an inside forward. He is the player that United are going to have to pay particular attention to if he gets on the ball. If he finds himself on the right-hand side, which is probably going to be United's more attacking side, I would imagine, he's going to cause us some problems depending who he comes up against. Now, what are they good at and how are they going to hurt us? Pressing traps. This is what he is all about, Nagelsmann. Leipzig have become the king of an aggressive pressing trap. Now, what is a pressing trap? Now, pressing, everyone knows pressing. You run around like a dickhead and chase after the ball, right? No. A pressing trap is something a little bit more cuter than that. Say, for example, they might allow a ball to come into the midfield. Once the ball comes into the midfield, they might have one person that they've gone, do you know what? As soon as it gets to him, we're going to crowd round him and we're going to shut that guy down. If you're watching Manchester United, that might be Bruno Fernandes, it might be Paul Pogba, it might be Nemanja Matic. That's the midfield that I'm thinking of going with. And if I was Nagelsmann in this situation, that's how I'm going to try and shut United down. Because if the ball doesn't come through the centre of those, I don't think it's coming down the left, and it's certainly not coming down the right. Manchester United will be forced to go long. from centre-half. And I don't think they're very, very good at doing that. So that's how United would shut that down. If we bring the ball out through the fullbacks, Leipzig's fullback, winger, central midfielder are going to quickly close them down and are going to try and force the error. And I think they'd be quite good at doing that. It works in a similar fashion down the middle. The strikers, the inside forwards, they're going to put pressure on the defence. United might have to go direct. And that's why you'll be checking out my predicted 11 a little bit later on. But my predicted 11 is going to have Cavani in it for the sole purpose of trying to get out of this press. And their aggressive style of defending, it doesn't leave a lot of room for error, and it's been bloody impressive for them so far in Bundesliga. Now, on the flip side of that, they're also fluid in attack. Nightmare. It makes them a fun team to watch because Nagelmann likes to use his players that are comfortable playing loads of different roles, and that's why they're so tactically fluid, because he can switch it up to a different formation. Everyone goes, got you, sound, yep, I'm over here. And they're a nightmare for it. They move the ball real quickly around the edge of the opposition box before finding a killer pass in between the lines or catching the defence out with a low cross. Whether they play a 4 at the back or a 3 at the back, Leipzig always seem to end up attacking with 5 forwards in the final third. That's going to be key for United, and that's, again, when I get to my 11, why I've gone with a back 3. The 5 players, though, usually consist of the striker, 2 inside forwards, 2 wingers. It's short passing, it's in and around the D. It's impressive and it's good-looking football, and a third-man run coming out wide. That's where United could get hurt. That's where you've got to watch for people switching off. Those third-man runs are absolutely killer. Weaknesses. Plays into our hands very much with how we like to line up when we do play that 3 at the back, and how we were successful to a certain extent against Paris. People called it a counter-attacking performance. It wasn't, actually. It was way more possession-based than people want to give it credit for. But certainly that Manchester City game, the last home game we saw, this is perfect for this Leipzig game. Because they're so free-flowing in attack, a team that can turn it around nice and quickly against them, which could be United, makes them absolutely deadly. They are no strangers to taking risk in the build-up or in their attacks, which sometimes tends to leave them open. The back 3 or the back 2 might be the only people that are left there once they're committing people forward, and they can be got at. Now, it is Upamecano, and it'd probably be Konate next to him. They have got pace in their locker, which is the thing that you need when you're playing such a free-flowing, gung-ho, potentially deadly sort of counter-attacking, vulnerable team. And they can be overwhelmed with numbers because they can't cover everyone. When people go 1 up or 2 up against them, they can usually deal with that. Like if it's Marcus Rashford that's running in for pace, and they'll match him. Much like what you saw with Axel and Mbappe, they'll just go toe-to-toe with him and they'll sweep that up. But if we attack in numbers, if the ball goes up to Cavani, Cavani's probably going to have Konate or Upamecano right up his ass, looking for him to try and block him. But if he then has Rashford go past him, Bruno go past him, Pogba go past him, they're not going to keep up with that. And that's where United need to be very disciplined in defence and very enthusiastic going forward to make sure that we can get on the ball. It is the only major weakness to report, really, from Leipzig. They're good in pretty much every single other area, and they're really going to cause United some problems. Make no mistake, this is a big game. If United can pick them off like we did with PSG last week, there's every chance of another solid result. And if we manage to pick up wins against these and against PSG like we did last week, United are looking very good for Group H. Now, my starting 11 that I went with then, it is as follows. I'm going with David De Gea in net. I'm going with a back 3 of Axel Tuanzebe. Let's try and cope with that pace. Maguire and Lindelof, all 3 of them comfortable playing out, and I think they're going to need to be because they will be put under a lot of pressure. If you play somebody else in this back line, not that there's many people you could play in the back line, but you know what I'm saying, they could be pressed. These 3 are a little bit more press resistant. A midfield of Matic and Pogba. Wan-Bissaka, Telles as my fullbacks. Bruno, I think it'll be Martial alongside Cavani, obviously because his suspension in domestic football. Give Marcus Rashford the rest. Bring him on as an impact sub a little bit later in the game. Same with perhaps Donny van der Beek or somebody else. But that's the team that I'm going for. Let me know in the comments. Do you rate it? Do you not rate it? Back to the lads in the studio.
Back. We are here for the team news. It's already out, Adam.
Are we already here?
It's not meant
are
to
we
be
live?
released yet.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Are we live?
Do you want to read the team out? It's up on the screen. I'll go through it. We've got David De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, Fred McTominay, Pogba, Martial, Van der Beek, and Greenwood.
Let me just step in a minute there. Didn't you just say to me, do you want to read the team out? I'll go ahead and do it.
Yes. You didn't answer quick enough. I did it myself. Substitutes, and we'll get back to the team news in a second. The substitutes are Henderson, Fosu-Mensah, Mengi, Twanzebe, Williams, Fernandes, James, Mata, McTominay, Igalo, Rashford, Cavani. Everyone's on the subs bench except
Alex Telles.
Alex Telles. Where is he, lads? Where is Alex Telles? # find Telles.
Find him.
Tell us where Telles is. Let's go
Telles,
through the team again then.
Tubbies.
Tubbies. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw. So that back four,
Is last
Twanzebe's
season's back
not
four.
kept his place. Tellers hasn't kept his place. Maguire comes back in for Twanzebe from the team that beat PSG in the Champions League last week.
I find that a little bit weird.
What?
Because Ollie can pick a team against Chelsea based on the fact that these players did well against Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't pick a team for RB Leipzig based off the fact that these lads, like Axel Twanzebe, did well against PSG. I hate... You know when a manager justifies selection sometimes, and it's a bad selection, but the reason they use to justify that selection, they never use it at any other time.
Yeah.
I just find it annoying. Now, look, I'm happy with the team. I think we discussed yesterday the possibilities of maybe a diamond, which it looks like it's a diamond, with maybe Van der Beek just behind Greenwood and Martial. But, you know, we didn't think we'd see the diamond, did we?
No.
We thought we'd see a 4-2-3-1. Maybe something different.
Yeah. If you just click on the no tellers trend there, please, Casey, so we can have a look at what people are saying about no tellers on Twitter. It is interesting. I didn't think we'd see the diamond, no, because we've not started with that diamond, I don't think, ever under Solskjaer, have we? People say now they can't believe there's no tellers. No one seems to know exactly where he is. Someone was mentioning some sort of injury, but it doesn't seem as though that's been confirmed.
People keep saying as well, stop. Like, I've seen a few replies there on the trend saying, stop bottling it, Ollie. It's like, it's not like he's chosen not to select Telles because, you know, Telles isn't even on the bench. So it suggests
he's injured.
That there's something else up there.
Yeah, there's definitely something else up, because the fact that there's people on the bench who certainly aren't going to be getting a game, if we can just get the thing back up again, the squad. Everyone's on the bench except Tellers. You know, we've got Ted and Mengi's on the bench.
UEFA still have
Dan
those
James
rules,
is on the
don't
bench.
they?
Yeah, exactly. So if Ted and Mengi can make the bench, I'm surprised Tellers isn't on there because, you know, he starts. He started against PSG. He presumably gets minutes over Ted and Mengi. So something's obviously going on with Tellers. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but interesting, isn't it? And what do you think to the diamond in midfield? Are you happy with that?
I like it. Matic sitting in front of that defence. It means that your wing backs have got, well, your full backs in this instance have got a little bit more license to go forward. But it also means Paul Pogba's in his better, in his more preferred position. Fred can drop back if required and help out Nemanja Matic, or help out that link up that play. Van der Beek starting in one of his preferred positions as well. So it's one of those formations that you're getting everybody into a position that they would, you know, prefer.
Yeah.
Greenwood and Martial are up top. Van der Beek in behind the strikers. Pogba left side of a midfield three. Like, these are where we want to see these players playing.
It's funny, isn't it, how if you were the sort of person that was saying either that Solskjaer should be sacked because he's not started Van der Beek, or that we didn't need Van der Beek because he's not even played, he's got to play well tonight, hasn't he? Imagine if Van der Beek just did absolutely awful tonight and all this, like, yeah, I told you. Are you expecting Van der Beek to come out and look like he's got a point to prove?
Well, he's not. That's definitely what I just saw.
He is on Twitter. Anyway.
Can we sort that out, please?
On the current one, there you go.
Yeah, but can we sort it out on Twitter so that post is deleted, please?
Midfield of Pogba, Matic, Fred and Van der Beek. Do you like that? Because like you said, what he's done there is he's favoured the playing positions of the players rather than the shape that he usually likes, hasn't he? So he's almost gone like, right, I'm letting you all play where you want to play. Prove me wrong.
Well, I don't think he's just gone out and said, I'm letting you play where you want to play. It might be down to what RB Leipzig are doing as well.
That's a good point.
And those kind of things, obviously, we've got to bear in mind RB Leipzig. So I love someone that thinks that I am doing the graphics as well.
You are.
Like,
that's what
Adam, you've got the graphics wrong. Like,
yeah, the graphics should be sorted now.
This isn't Adam McKola TV where I'm juggling a laptop and Photoshop and my computer's on fire and, I'm still managing to do a live stream, which reminds me, why the fuck do we pay anybody here?
Don't know, it's weird, isn't it? Disappointed not to see Rashford starting, but he will finally have a rest. Do you think he needs a rest?
The great hope will be back.
It's a nice little shirt you've got there.
It's a nice little t-shirt, isn't it?
It is really good, actually. Stand up and show us then. We can cut to crouch down, and we'll cut to Adam's camera there.
Can I just do that?
Look at that. That's me. We don't need to see me.
Look at that.
There you go. Look, lovely shirt that.
Hope. Yeah. They'll be out soon.
Soon.
Yeah, soon.
Okay.
Maybe today.
Maybe right now, to be honest.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We're just a little bit
off the cuff here, aren't we?
We're a little bit, a little bit banterous.
You're a bit scared, aren't you? You're scared to tell people where you can get one of them.
Am I?
Seem like you are.
I don't want anyone else to wear it.
That's what I was thinking.
Guys.
You think that t-shirt's so good, it's only you that's allowed to wear it.
You know when I buy clothes and someone says, "Where did you get that from?" Half of me doesn't want to say.
Next, mate. Just lie. Make some.
Especially like, no, when you're not paying for me. At least like Adidas come through with a payment.
That isn't from Adidas though, is it?
No, it's not. It's from this YouTube channel.
Is it?
Yeah, Stretford Paddock. I don't know if you heard of them.
No, I
They're
haven't.
dropping some fire merch.
They are, aren't they? And that'll be coming out very
soon. Piece
soon.
as well of fire merch somewhere.
Ben Hayes, thank you for joining the academy. We're going to be doing more academy videos, more members videos very soon.
We'll be giving some of these bad boys away soon as well.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some t-shirt giveaways for the academy members and to get you over onto our Spotify and stuff as well.
In my predicted team, I did a 4-2-3-1. I did Rashford, Marshall, Greenwood, and Cavani coming off the bench. I did in midfield. I did Fred, Pogba, and Van der Beek. We've got to see them all today. Matic is coming. So I got the formation wrong, which meant I got my selection wrong. But I was quite close to nailing it.
Are you surprised that we're seeing Matic? Because he's hardly played all season, has he?
I'm not surprised we're seeing Matic more, today at all. I'm not. RB Leipzig are a good team. RB Leipzig are a side that, are very good with the ball and picking up pockets and dropping in between your midfield and your defence. And Matic is someone that can counter that. So I think Matic's experience and his nous could come in handy. And then you've got the legs around him. So it's not a midfield two of Pogba, who's not very press resistant, and Matic, who's very slow and rigid and stiff. Like me watching the Dip It Low video, as we mentioned earlier.
Christina Milian. Shout out if you're watching.
Shout out Christina Milian.
Messages on Instagram or something.
Yeah, I used to love her. And Sierra. And then everyone at school said Sierra had a willy.
Oh.
Remember that?
No. How would they? Honestly, how would they know?
I didn't know whether to
be scared.
To still tell people like, yo.
Still fancy her, mate.
And then I seen her at an NFL game.
Did you give her the side eye?
NFL, she walked past me. And I wanted to take a picture with her. But she was holding a child, and you can't ask people for pictures when they're holding their child.
At that point, did you realise, she probably has got a womb and that? By that point, when she is holding the child that she birthed.
Yeah. By then.
By then, you kind of knew. United have got a lot of people, according to Carey Skates, who I think I think that's Casey Cares, but he's actually reorganised.
Or it's Carey.
Could be Carey, whatever. United have got a lot of people who are comfortable on the ball, and Leipzig like to press and they like to overload an attack. Do you think that having that many people who can hold the ball, who can play out, something that maybe Fred's not quite as good at, something that other players like Dan James isn't really as good at holding the ball, keeping possession? Do you think that's obviously you said it's more than just, well, go on then, you lot all play in your position you want to play. But do you think it's on purpose, we're packing out that midfield, we're trying to aim to have a bit more possession in this game?
And also if we dominate possession with that midfield, if you look at it, we've not got much width, have we?
No.
But if you maintain possession of that through your midfield, it will allow your wing backs or your full backs time to get up and provide you that width. But that's the thing. You've got to wait for that. The other alternative is Martial and Greenwood split.
Yeah.
Donny van der Beek becomes almost a false nine through the middle.
That's what I'm envisaging, because one of the things that was always touted about Van der Beek was his ability to arrive in the box in attacking plays. So I'm assuming that we're going to see them split wide. We'll see Van der Beek almost with that false nine, kind of filling in that gap
Leipzig
between them,
split.
Arriving in the box for crosses and for sort of rebounds and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think we'll see Van der Beek almost as a striker tonight.
Cameron Slash, who's also a member, says arrested Bruno and Rashford against Arsenal will be magic.
Because I think Bruno has actually been I think he's been really good this season. I think he's got better. I think he's looked less tired. Toward the end of last season, he had that thing where he looked like he was knackered, and he was playing and he was trying balls that weren't coming off. He was trying to do things that just weren't working. But this season, I think even outside of his goals and assists, which he's kept up, I think he's actually been excellent again. And give him a week off, let him play against Arsenal, see what he's got.
I think there are things that have been annoying at times. But I think that's the beauty of a player. Like, you have to grow to accept that when you've got a player like Bruno in your team, that sometimes is going to... like, I remember, the thing about watch-alongs is, we're reacting in the heat of the moment to something, innit? So people seem to think I hated Bruno that day when he missed the penalty and all that.
And you said you'd hate to play with him because he takes shots all the time.
Bruno, it doesn't mean I think Bruno's rubbish.
No.
I actually love Bruno, and I think he's the kind of person as well that just... in the heat of the moment, he's going to bollock you if something don't happen, right? So me and Bruno are much alike, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But also,
maybe off the pitch, but
also,
certainly not on it.
He seems to just absorb everybody's stress.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think you need to take him out the firing line for that.
He's a big footy sponge,
He's
isn't
a
he?
big sponge.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people in our team, or I don't know, I think that's unfair now because a lot of it's changed.
We've got a bit more of that now.
Yeah, we've got a bit more of that, but I can see why he can be a bit unbearable.
Because it's almost like Bruno is like, he's always 2 stages more stressed and more pumped up than everyone else. So when we're shit, he can drag us up. But when we're like stressed, he's off the planet stressed.
Yeah.
So it's almost like Steve here, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's always like a level above everyone else. Sometimes it's good.
Ben Hayes says Macca for number 10. He wants me to be Prime Minister now.
I think he means playing in behind the strikers, but yeah, fair enough. J. Gavin Balloon, thank you for the super chat. We've got someone who says Upamecano or Twanzebe.
How many people sent in that super chat?
1.
Sounds like he said 3 names.
Well, he's got 3 names. I mean, if you're going to pick one, really, Upamecano or Twanzebe. Twanzebe's been injured for 9 months, hasn't he? Do you think?
I'm half joking, but I'm going to make a point here, which is true.
Don't joke, mate.
And you've said it in a funny way on this show, like, you know about Koulibaly?
Yeah.
When you said, well, is he just a Senegalese Smalling? Like, and how much of
should have said that
these things with Upamecano and these players are the fact that they're playing in a different league? Like, imagine Twanzebe for Leipzig.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Would we be saying, fuck me, let's spend 50 million on Twanzebe? I think we would.
Yeah. And it's the same, and we've said this all along. I think it's the same with a lot of players. I think even Sancho, to a certain extent, he's been incredible for Dortmund. But if you put Rashford or Martial or Greenwood in that Dortmund side, they'd be getting 25, 30 goals each.
To take nothing away from Sancho or Upamecano,
no disrespect to Sancho, I would have loved him at United. I think he would improve us massively. But you see when they play for England that, you know, whilst you don't see everything that Sancho does at England, but you see that him and Rashford are of a similar, you know, there's no, Sancho isn't leagues above Rashford.
It's like people talking about Mbappe.
Yes.
And by the way, Mbappe is one of the world's best talents, you know, phenomenal talent. But how much of that is based on him being in League One?
Yeah, exactly.
And United being, you know, how many goals would Rashford score playing for PSG? Martial score for, like, I think we overlook sometimes some of the talents that we've got.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't see the team of RB Leipzig because the camera's blocking it. So can you read the team?
Yes.
Please, Joe?
If Campbell's the last person on the list, I can see all of them. They've got Gulashi in there, who's their captain. They've got Angelino, who is their top scorer and left back. If we can cut to me, that'd be great. Upamecano and Konate as the 2 centre backs, the 2 French youngsters, apparently playing 3 centre backs. With Halstenberg in there as well. Yeah, I've just seen him. He's
Halstenberg.
Yeah, German, I believe. The 3 at the back with Angelino as the left wing back. Then they've got.
He used to play for City.
Angelino did, yeah. They've got Nkunku in there as well. Henriks, I believe, who is also a fullback. He's their wing back on the right hand side. Then they've got Forsberg, who a lot of people have heard of. Nkunku, as I said. Campbell, Olmo, and Poulsen up front. Angelino's been their top scorer this season. I think he's got 4 goals for him.
He scored them all in one game.
Again, Spanish lad, played for Man City, barely got a game, goes to Leipzig, top scorer for him. What's that say about the Bundesliga? Are you expecting then?
May as well call it the Bumsdesliga.
Go on, lads! Come on! Right,
we've
had a go at him. We've taken the piss. Are we going to get battered tonight? Are we going to get battered, Adam?
They got Almo from Sesame Street.
Yeah, exactly.
They got Big Bird at the back. This shit could go off, you know.
Sesame Street.
We need to win this game, Joe.
Yeah,
it's
we do.
It's a must win.
It's not.
It's a must win.
No, it's not.
It's a must win.
Why is it? Because it's
we don't
Old
want to
Trafford.
we don't want to be going into the last 2 games, Leipzig away, PSG at home, having to win any of those 2 games. We need to win.
Yeah, it's a good point. And also, we need to get a win at Old Trafford, for God's sake, don't we?
Yeah, no wins at Old Trafford in how long?
All season. People asking for score predictions. I'm going to say 2-1. What do you think?
By the way, PSG are drawing 0-0 still with 40 minutes to go. That's good for us.
That would be a great result. If they could both drop 2 points, yeah, we'd be happy with that. Score prediction, I've gone with 2-1. I'm thinking we're going to see a goal from...
Martial has to score today.
Martial,
right?
yeah, I was going to say.
It's been too long.
And Greenwood as well, I think will score.
It's been way too long.
What's your prediction?
Martial scores, United win 2-0.
Good lad.
2 wins out of 2. Group of death, they said.
It is a group of death.
Is it? Is that because we're in it?
We're not the ones who are dying.
We're the Reaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Group of death, call us the Grim Reaper.
Exactly.
You know, someone commented in there saying, Adam and Joe are getting along.
It's not right, is it?
They liked it, though.
RB liked it. Agree with Adam. Mbappe is given too much credit playing in an inferior league.
RB liked it.
Yes.
Is that your 5-side team name?
No. I tell you what, though. Here's a thing, though. Remember how good, what was he called? French left midfielder played for West Ham.
Dimitri Payet.
Payet. He was better for West Ham than he was in the French league. He was world class for that one season. You remember that?
Yeah, but he also, like, to force his way out of West Ham, he put, like, 5 stone on.
Yeah.
He stopped playing football for 2 years, and then he got his move.
Yeah, and for every Payet, there is a Tovan, isn't there, who was shocking at Newcastle, but has been almost world class in Spain. Ben Arfa,
remember his
same
1
thing.
goal for Newcastle from the halfway line.
Dribble goal.
You know what I think it is when you're that good at football? Like, Messi's a freak, innit?
Yeah.
Ronaldo is a physical specimen that has made himself. But you see Ben Arfa's and them, man. Payet. Their skills are just...
outrageous.
Just natural, innit?
Yeah.
And when you're ballers like them and me...
What? Excuse me?
When you're ballers like them and
like
me...
them.
You fall off very quickly.
Right.
Because it's too easy.
So how good were you then when you were 28?
You know...
10 years ago.
Playing for Olympique Marseille.
Well, yeah. Still are by the looks of things. Right. Get your score predictions in the comments. We're going to be thrown over to the pre-match show very soon.
RB Leipzig against Olympique Marseille. Any other good 5-a-side football team?
Probably loads, isn't there? Get your 5-a-side football teams in. Let us know what you think.
This is very late night live, isn't it?
Let us know what you think to the
Sorry,
team
John.
as well, because it's good to see Van der Beek starting. Do you think there's a chance that do you think there's a chance that he's going to be like, you know what, I've not had a big chance. This is a big game, big team. Do you think he might hold on to the ball a bit too long? He might try a bit too much. Are you expecting cool, calm and collected from old Donny?
Donny. Look at TF11.
Yeah, we can't read that. Keep going. Keep going. Pjanic at the Isco, we can read that. TM11, funny but unreadable, as I'm sure you're aware. Go on.
Can I read it out?
Nope.
Please.
No, because we'll lose monetization on the videos, and you know that.
Okay. Murder on the dance floor.
What do you think to Donny van der Beek? We need to turn this telly off. He loves it.
Donny van der Beek.
Is he going to try too hard to prove himself?
He's not going to try too hard. Trying too hard isn't in his vocabulary because he is Dutch, bro, and he is a baller. He doesn't need to try too hard. What he does comes naturally to him. Popping that ball off to Joe, running into space, picking it back up of Joe, looking for someone else in space, finding them. And as long as the people around them make the moves that they've got to make, do what they've got to do, Donny van der Beek will be great. What have you seen?
Cameron Slash there with Men's Chest Hair United. What do you think?
Manchester.
Also, someone just brought up a picture, a web page that's got you on it.
Meet you at the Gaia bar.
Is it true that you're a Gemini?
I am.
Yeah, I thought.
Why is all these pictures up? What's going on?
We're on famousbirthdays.com.
That's really... I hate famous birthdays, by the way. You know why I hate them, yeah?
Why?
Because it's really weird. You know what they had at one point?
Go on.
Like, they had my sister's name and stuff in there.
Did they?
Like, my sister who was in school, primary school, they had her name on there, yeah? And I had to email them and say, what the fuck are you like doing, you weirdos?
Well, they've taken it off. It just says England.
Yeah, because I call them weirdos.
Based in England, he grew up alongside his younger sister.
And my little brother's at home like, where the fuck am I at in this?
She wrote it. Your sister wrote that. In a second, we're going to go again over to our pre-match show where you get the chance.
How popular am I? I'm in the top 20,000 stars ever.
Wow, amazing.
Who's below me? Who's above me? Can we check the rankings, please? Go to most popular. I need to see who's 18,968.
You're not even in the top. You're in the top,
I'm top 10 Adams, though.
That are Geminis.
I'm above. Who's that old fella?
Adam Smith. You don't want to be associated to him. What? You're looking at this now.
Adam.
None of them. These are all Geminis.
That one at the top's a famous YouTuber.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, the pre-match show is where you can send in your predictions for the game. Send them to paddockmatchday@gmail.com if you want to get your video shown on the watch-along. We're going to be going over there right now, I believe. Someone says, do not play Daniel James again. Well, fair enough.
Yeah, never again. Someone said, imagine me playing Among Us. I don't know what that is, but me and you are going to have Twitch soon, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to be doing some Twitch soon. Let us know what you think we should be playing.
In Joe's pants.
Yeah, that's true.
Adam Smith is that knob who was on 20 quid notes. Oh, yeah, you're right, mate.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
Jivan Gattiori says, Istanbul buttocks hair. And on that note, we're going to send you over to our pre-match show in just a moment with Alex. Like I said, this is your chance to get shown on the watch-along. Send in your 30-second match predictions every single match day to paddockmatchday@gmail.com. Going over now.
Ta-ra.
We'll be back in a sec. Is it? Yes.
Wait, we're still here.
You're still here? In a minute. Come on.
Thanks, guys. And now that the team news is in, let us know what your score predictions are going to be in the comments. And also, throughout the game, you can tweet us using the hashtag #PaddockMatchday. Let us know your score predictions. Let us see your setups. Let us see what you're eating. Let's see what you're drinking and your overall thoughts of the game. I'll be checking them, and me and Jay will be back at half-time to go through a few of them. As always, you can send in your predictions to paddockmatchday@gmail.com to feature in this next bit. So, make sure you're sending in your predictions, paddockmatchday@gmail.com. Here's a few of yours, as well as some familiar faces.
Alright, United are in action tonight against Leipzig. I think it's going to be a difficult game for United, especially coming off the back of probably a disappointing draw on the weekend against Chelsea. I think Leipzig aren't a side that United can take lightly. They got to the semi-finals of the Champions League last season. We know they've got a couple of decent players. They've got a couple of really good players as well that have came through their academy.
Alright lads, it's Adam from the back post again. So we've got Leipzig. Not really sure how to feel about this one. They're in great form. The top of the Bundesliga, unbeaten so far.
Right then, we are here. It is Manchester United. It is RB Leipzig. It is the Champions League. I got Adam McKola. I got Joe Smith. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all right. We are going to be here for the entire game. We've also got Alex, who's going to be doing stuff in the back with Casey. And when I say doing stuff in the back, I'm talking video stuff. Perverts.
Doing stuff.
Right, so obviously we had a bit of an issue on the stream earlier. Please make sure to like the stream. Please give it a share as well, because I need to go and have a word with our internet service providers. I mean, they're only next door.
They're a disgrace.
Yeah.
They are
sort
nothing.
that
They
right
are
out.
fools and they're a
But
waste of
listen,
time.
we're back on, and we're here to talk business. So let's get the team news up. Thank you. Let's go solo on me. God damn, I'm pretty. And let's go through. Here we go then. So United, I think this is correct, are looking like they're going to line up in a diamond. We're going to get bummed, lads. This is not a good idea to line up against Leipzig.
Than a diamond.
It's not good. This isn't how I would want to line up against Leipzig at all. So we have got a back four of...
Can you see that, Stephen?
It's right there. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire,
and Shaw. Like Shaw on my picture I'm seeing over here.
That's because Shaw's got...
Yeah, anyway. All right, so there we go. So we got Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw and Wan-Bissaka. Matic, Pogba, Fred with Donny van der Beek, remember him? Mm-hmm. And we've got Marshall and Greenwood up front. Sir Marcus Rashford, Dr. MBE, gets a night off.
Knighthood.
And a night off. And what was the bench? We got the bench.
Yeah, it's on there.
It's Henderson, Fosu Mensah, Mengi, Twanzebe talk about academy. Williams talk about more academy. Fernandez, James, Mata, McTominay, Cavani, Igalo, and Rashford. Champions League. We're having a laugh. We can have as many as we want.
That's mental.
No Tellez, even on the bench, Steve. He must be injured, right?
Have you heard anything, Steve?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
None of your guys from Portugal text you?
Nothing.
Should we pop down to the Lowry later and see if he's there?
Yeah.
Find out what's going on. What do you reckon?
I think we should.
You do?
Makes sense, doesn't it?
I think you could do it.
What,
me and him are
cards,
more known.
cards are marked.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas you...
Here's what you do, Joe.
I used to know someone who worked in the kitchen at the library as well.
Backdoor it. I know you like that. Up the stairs. That TV's going off. Press the button. Backdoor it.
Yeah.
Up the stairs.
Yeah.
Buy yourself a £9 apple juice.
Oh, what
Sit there.
Apple juice.
Say, yes, I'll have bar snacks, please. That's £5.
Cold press.
No, just like little chili nuts and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I like
They're pretty good.
Jalapeno poppers.
I got chili nuts
Savor.
with this aircon on, to be honest.
Savour your nuts. Because you're going to be not wanting to replenish them nuts and sit there and wait for all the players to come past.
Just proper taking tiny morsels off of a dry roasted. I could do that.
That's 75p a nut, my friend.
Yeah, but why? Tellers might not come past then if he's not there. And we're just asking
He
him,
might
where's
hobble
Tellers?
past, though.
Where's Tellers?
No, you can't ask the question. You just got to play it cool.
And just sort of hope over here. Bloody hell, shame about his...
That was like us when Cantona was there. playing it cool.
Nearly tackled him.
Cantona walked past and start launching up the table.
Same night.
Flipping everything.
Back to the main screen, please, Cameron. On the same night, though, we did get
the Stretford Paddock intro quite clearly.
by Jose.
Why?
Sitting right.
It was the night Claudio Ranieri got sacked.
It was the night Ranieri got sacked. So Jose was
from Leicester.
Dead upset. Yeah, don't know why. So we're sitting there chiseling.
Yeah.
Jose comes up the stairs, not even waiting for him. He's like, Jose, and he went.
Sat you back down, and you just moved. Couldn't feel it.
I had a love-hate relationship with Jose at that time. I wasn't really.
Whereas now you just love him.
Yeah, well now I just hate him. Let's say it how
Adam
it is.
Tottenham going to win the league. I'm a bit scared.
I've got a problem. I possibly think Tottenham can win the league. I think the league winners are going to come out of one of three of these teams. Listen to me: Everton,
Arsenal.
Spurs,
Arsenal.
or Manchester United.
Yep.
Serious talk.
Yeah, he's lost his fucking mind.
Serious talk. Listen to me. We're winning the league, or Jose's winning the league.
That's weird to say, isn't it, out loud?
We're winning the league, or Jose's winning the
So
league.
why aren't Liverpool going to win the league then?
Because
everyone's injured.
They've got no Fabinho, no Van Dijk.
Allegedly,
He's dead.
Allegedly, they've caught up with them.
Talk about t-shirts. We should get a t-shirt with Van Dijk's face on it.
I like that t-shirt you've got there.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
They're coming out on Stretford Paddock soon. I'm that one as well.
Mine in.
Your one's still in the post, Joe.
Yeah, it better be. There's a really nice one out. What's my one look like?
You'll see it when you get it.
Oh,
We don't want to ruin the surprise.
Surprise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Happy Christmas.
Ashley,
is it black?
Is it Ashley Young?
I like a black
It
t-shirt.
is. It is. Yeah. Because you requested a black t-shirt.
Thank you.
Right. He's dark. It's dark soul, dark person.
His dark materials.
You used to be a goth back in the day. Emo. Which one's which?
Goth is...
Which one likes Red Bull?
I hate my life. Emo is I hate your life. I think. Pretty much. Oh, no, it's the other way around. Emo is I hate my life. Goth is I hate your life. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one would you rather be?
Oh, definitely I hate your life. I love my life. I've got a great life. How could I not love it? You were saying before, Steve, in all of your wisdom, however much that may be, this is not the way to play against Leipzig. This midfield Diamante.
Yeah.
The jazzle that we're going for in midfield.
Two reasons why this is
not
just the worst idea that Ollie's ever came out with, and watch it work. But in my opinion,
We got the NDL.
The way that you play against a team that's going to have a back three and is going to have wing backs, especially wing backs that are absolutely rassing it up at the moment, which is what's happening with Leipzig's wing backs.
Henriks and
is you need to match width with width. You don't go, you're going wide, we'll go narrow. No, that's not how it works. You don't go narrow when a team's going to attack using double the width. For starters, right, think about this. So it's going to go probably Angelino up against Wan-Bissaka. Mm-hmm. When they double up to 2v1 him, who's his backup? Oh, no fucker, you mean?
Yeah, and do you remember what happened against Brighton as well? When they were
but that's where
balls to the back post.
That's where the responsibility of your midfielders that are in those the wider positions of the diamond to come across and protect those areas as well. They have to. Yeah, they have to do that.
But it never happens.
But you need those. If you're not playing this diamond, I can't believe Casey had to Google the NDL, bruv. You work in YouTube, you clown.
Or football.
It's the Nico Defence League, not North London Derby. He thought it was a North Derby London. He did. I'm working with Bellens. Sorry. What were we talking about? Yeah. So when you're setting up in a diamond, if Ollie hasn't said to Fred, there's no winger there that's going to be coming back into that position, or Paul Pogba, there's no one that's. You need to be aware that you've got to cover those positions.
I understand
and protect
that,
them.
But it won't happen.
But they have to.
But it won't.
But if they don't, they have to.
But it won't.
But they have to. We're going to win. So what are you on about?
It's like pantomime, this, isn't it? Christmas. Well, they have to. Well, they won't know. Well, they have to. Well, they won't know.
Well,
He's behind you. That's what he is.
We're going to find out very, very soon. In 25 minutes, we're going to start to find out.
And by the way,
how it goes down.
Fuck the NDL. Yeah. Nico. I love you, mate.
What is it?
But we right here are the RDL. The Rashford Defence League. So you can all... You know what I'm saying.
Listen, the next Tory MP that's got something to say about Marcus Rashford, I may or may not be outside your house.
Yeah, bitch.
I mean, I'm not going to do anything threatening because that would be illegal, but I may or not be outside your house staring at you.
Camping. Binoculars.
Van der Beek starting tonight. It's been... has it been a case, do you think, of... Obviously, he's not played. There's been loads of criticism of Ole using the fact that Van der Beek hasn't played on Twitter, on social media. Even amongst pundits, we saw Patrice Evra saying, what was the point in buying Van der Beek if you're not going to play him, all these sorts of things. Do you think that people have been using Van der Beek almost as a way to beat up Ole because he's not been playing, so obviously it was a mistake not to play because we didn't win?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
People are trying to find any gap that they won't. He's not playing Pogba. Dick.
Yeah.
You mean... After he realised that he ran Pogba into the ground, potentially, maybe brought him back from injury too early, maybe the Paul Pogba that got the coronavirus, that we don't actually know what the long-term effects for that is on elite athletes are.
I heard your brain shrinks.
What?
Heard your brain shrinks. I heard your brain shrinks.
Is us just hearing that?
Your brain on COVID shrinks.
Anyway, so we don't know what the effect of it is on athletes.
Yeah.
And Ollie's been criticised for slowly bringing in Paul Pogba after the guys had the coronavirus. Everybody wanted squad depth. We went out and got squad depth in certain areas, out of it in other areas, like right wing. Now we've got squad depth, people are moaning that you're not... What the fuck do you think happens when you get squad depth?
You got to get deep in that squad.
Now, Bruno Fernandes has been given the night off. That'll either be the genius or a nightmare, depending on how bad we lose tonight. If it works, Ollie's come out fantastic. Then he's got selection problems in a good way. If Van der Beek has a great game tonight, it was the right time to bring him in.
Captain Hindsight over there.
Well,
if he has a good game? Well, if he has a good game.
But that's how it works, though, isn't it? At the end of the day, that's how it works.
It's true.
And
We're all
people have been kicking off because he's not been getting any game time, but this is a guy that hasn't played as much as some of our players.
And also...
And, he's got to be integrated into the squad.
He made a good point on the preview that all of us seem to forget. Like, he hadn't played for Ajax since March. Do you know what I mean? And then, also, I think most of us predicted our team. None of us put Van der Beek in it. And so it was just a case of he should have got 20 minutes. But he'd played in 6 of our 7 games prior to that or something like that. So I'm not overly concerned by it. And I think, was it you that retweeted someone saying like, these lots new. Ferran Torres hasn't started.
Fabinho and Naby Keita were slowly integrated into that Liverpool side as well.
Really slowly. People were mega.
Keita, it took him almost a season to be playing regularly.
Fabinho was similar as well, at least 6 months.
The thing is, there is a gang of people, or not necessarily a gang.
Easier when you're winning, though, isn't it?
A portion of people, it is easier when you're winning, that have decided they don't like the way that the club is being managed. I don't mean the Glazers and all that. I mean, they don't like Solskjaer and they don't like the coaching staff. So anytime we lose, it is their fault. And not only is it their fault, but there was an obvious and blatant solution that already happens to be on the bench that would have won any individual game.
Yeah. Scottish Taco has just said, Adam, you put Van der Beek in your team. I mean, for the last game that caused the uproar.
Yeah, the Chelsea game.
We all put him in for this.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Well, you didn't, because you ain't got no sense.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. And the revisionism's mental of people with it. Because you're right, it does take a while to integrate people into the team. It does take a while, and Bruno Fernandes was different because United was hurting for players at the time. Pogba wasn't available. There was a gap there. Played a man. And it paid off. But it might not have paid off. How many times have you seen people come into the squad and be ineffective for ages? And sometimes that happens on a regular basis. Sometimes they manage to hit the ground running, and we were very fortunate that that's what happened with Bruno Fernandes. But that won't happen with every signing. And it was fortunate it kind of happened with Maguire and Wan-Bissaka. But, I mean, we were talking about this the other day when we were talking about the loss to Crystal Palace. People were like, oh, we didn't get Sancho. Was he stopping free? It'd been 3-3, is what you're saying. No, is he stopping goals at the other end? No. He might add a bit of goalage to the other end, but he's not necessarily being the reason that you keep a clean sheet. Sometimes a single player can have a massive impact on a team, but there isn't a player out there, certainly not a forward player, that turns a 3-0 loss into a 3-0 win.
No.
It doesn't happen. It's more about what your team does, and ultimately United wasn't ready to start the season when we started the season, as wasn't most of the teams that went deep in Europe that had truncated pre-seasons, because we're seeing it across Europe.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, a lot of the Van der Beek stuff is just people wanting something to criticise Ole with, and it's easy to say that Van der Beek would have fixed it when he's not playing and we're not playing great. But generally speaking, I think we are progressing this season. We are getting better. I know the Chelsea game wasn't a great performance, but we're better now than we were at the start of the season for sure.
Shout out Simba in the comments as well. He's a member, but also we have met him a couple of times as well. He's been on a fan cam. I met him out in the States when I went on a pre-season tour. That's one thing we never had this year, isn't it?
Sad, isn't it?
Our relationship grew on pre-season tour, didn't it? It was like a good pre-season, wasn't it?
It was,
we had
yeah.
a good
we
session.
gelled together as a team.
Yeah.
It was good.
We did gel together as a team. We need another pre-season, don't we?
Yeah.
Pre-fan TV season.
My liver would thank us for that, yeah.
It was probably good that we had a year off in between, and then we go again next year, right? Wonder where they're going to go. Yeah, it would probably be 2 years. PSG have won their game against Istanbul Başakşehir. Moise Kean got 2 goals towards the end of that game. It was looking like a 0-0 draw until late. That means everybody, apart from Istanbul, are on 3 points before we go into this game. Obviously,
big game.
Those two have played 2.
Massive game.
I said to Joel earlier before you came on the team news bit that it's a must-win today because of the way the fixtures fall. Do you really want to see us going into those last 2 games, Leipzig and PSG, needing a win?
Hell no. The way the fixtures roll is minging, but your home games are must win anyway. You win your home games and try and avoid losing. You can probably lose 1, draw 2, leave the group on 11 points, laughing. You're through. That's how it works. You win your home games, you don't lose all your away games, and you're through. Easy peasy poo.
Do you think we're going to win our home games though? Because we've not won one all season. And we are on a 10-match, not even unbeaten, 10-match winning streak away from home.
Pretty good, isn't it?
It is pretty good, but do you think, if anything, do you not think we're more likely to win all of our away games and try not to lose our home games?
I don't think I think it's purely coincidental. I really do. Because we've been great at home in the past and we've been shit on the road in the past. It is one of those at the moment. I think United are more suited to being a counter-attacking side, and teams are a bit more adventurous at home against us than they are when they come to Old Trafford, and it is something we're going to have to deal with. It's something we're going to have to learn about, and we'll get there in the end.
I do think I know you didn't say we're always a counter-attacking side, but I think the whole Ollie only knows how to play on the counter-attack stuff. I know Steve never said that. so I'm not suggesting he did. But I find that whole thing tiring. Like when you watch us, a lot of the defence is from the front line. We try and win the ball back early from the front. We don't always play on the counter-attack, you know what I mean? Try and soak up pressure
because
and hit teams on the counter-attack.
Idea of a counter-attack is parking the bus because we had Jose for a bit and he fucked us. Counter-attacking can be winning the ball on the edge of their box. Counter-attacking can be winning it on the halfway line and transitioning it fast. Yeah, massive. I read a fucking super nerdy document last night, which was the findings of UEFA 2020, which is it had a look at
reports. You know those reports?
78-page document.
Who the fuck reads these?
Oh, nice one, lads.
Was it 78?
Or was it 54?
63, I think.
Yeah.
You know the docs where they say, we've made the document available for anybody at home that wants to read it.
All you have to do is submit a Freedom of Information request, go to your local library, and then in 2
right,
weeks
shut me dicks. So it was, it was 106 pages.
You absolute idiot.
Right, no, I got up to 63. I got up to page 63.
That's too many.
And it was a really interesting bit on pressing. They was talking about pressing and how teams are winning the ball further up the pitch than they used to. I'll get a couple of stats up for you here now. So the outcome of the game, they had 119 games in the Champions League last year. High turnovers, so that's turnovers in and around the opposition third, 1,148. Ending in a shot, 217. Ending in a goal, 30.
So of 1,000, only 30 of them
ended in a goal. Directly in a goal. Also, the number of passes to get to a goal has increased. And also the number of time in possession prior to getting a goal has also increased as well, which is very interesting. Atalanta, Manchester City, both high-pressing teams. Talked about Leipzig, and very coincidentally with Leipzig today. Leipzig, overall number of shots within 15 seconds of a turnover. Only bettered by Bayern Munich. So they had 29 shots last year that were directly 15 seconds after getting a turnover. So they press high, they press hard. They're going to be an absolute nightmare for us.
Well, do you think that's why we've gone with that diamond in midfield then? Rather than having Fred and McTominay, who, Fred is a bit more agile, a bit more, he can defend against a press better, but McTominay gets the ball nicked off him. Do you think we've gone with people who can play the ball quickly in midfield, or do you think Pogba, who's been dilly-dallying a little bit, is just going to get caught out?
Here's the thing. They don't necessarily press your midfield. They're going to press your defence. That's where they press. They press everywhere, but they really press that defence. That's the issue for United, and that's why I said go with a midfield three. A back three, and have a ball-playing midfield that you can easily spread. You can't chase all the way across the full width of a pitch. So that's why I would have always said you play three defenders, you give yourself a nice platform to build from, you've got your full-backs that are just tucked in just a little bit higher up, you can play into them, there's your safety net. If you've got a team that's going to press the living shit out of you, as we've seen with United, the 4 is not the one to do it. I'm looking at Wan-Bissaka and I'm going, you're my bitch tonight if I'm Leipzig.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, Steve. We have got to move on. We are being prompted. A few people are asking where we can get the T-shirts from. We got a before Until Bruno Was Never Happy one, and we got the Hope one here. We'll be dropping those links out very, very soon.
Tell them what's going on with the Hope one as well.
The Hope one is for Fair Share, so we're raising some funds for them as well. So make sure you're checking that stuff out. The links and all that stuff will be out very, very soon. First things first, what we want to talk about.
What about first things third?
Yeah, what about that? My battery's gone in my watch weeks ago. I keep checking it. We've got 9 minutes until kickoff. So just before we get into kickoff, I want to have a brief discussion on the man Erling Haaland. Now, I hate talking about transfers when the window's closed because we know there's going to be plenty of time for it. Continuously linked with United. Linked again with United this week. Release clause of around 70 odd million quid, which expires in 2022. What do we think?
I find it weird that news came out. That smelt a bit like a briefing, a little bit to me.
Smells like a briefing.
Yeah, it
smells like my briefs.
Like a little briefing there. But I think the reason that you went with Cavani and a potential reason why we've gone with Palestri and Ahmad is because we don't want to block up that centre forward and that right wing spot with a genuine alternative superstar. Whether that's because we ain't got the cash to do that, or whether because we're thinking more long-term, which would be actually nice to think that United had a long-term plan. Erling Haaland's definitely someone that Ollie wants to work with. Their prior relationship clearly means something. If he thinks he can get him next summer or the summer after for that, mate, you're probably guaranteeing yourself a goal for every £1 million you spent.
And let's be honest, Erling Haaland is worth 70 million quid now, let alone in a year.
More.
He is. I would
He's
say
100 million
he's
pounds.
top
100
10
million
He's top 10 strikers in the world, and he's 20
comfortably.
You know, he's Lewandowski and maybe still Aguero and Mbappe, Kane. There's people
up there
above
right with him.
But he's like one of the better strikers in the world, and he's 20.
Greenwood.
Regardless of whoever you would put in that list, Martial, whoever.
I
Aubameyang.
don't think many people would disagree that he was outside the top 10.
So if he didn't have this buyout clause, you are looking at maybe not Mbappe money, because I don't think he's maybe quite as marketable. He's not quite as explosive on so many levels as Mbappe. He doesn't have the dribbling and the touch and that kind of thing. But you're looking at, like I said, 100 million, 120, 130 million pound player. You're essentially getting him half price at this, which means that everyone and their nan is going to be in for him. Why do you think that we're going to be able to attract him over Madrid, Barcelona, who are going to be restructuring with their president leaving?
One, I don't think Barcelona got money.
They might have when they sell Messi's.
He's walking out for free, isn't he?
Still there.
Mind you, not having to pay him every week means he's got 100 million a year. Twos. He was born in England.
Yeah, but so was, Gabby Agbonlahor. We don't really want to sign him, does it?
Excellent point. Totally diffused me. And three, I think there's something in that prior relationship with Ollie. And I think it's also something in the fact that United will probably pay whatever it takes for him to do it.
Do you think, well, whatever it takes is 70 million? You mean wage structure?
You see us dealing with Raiola again?
Yep.
He's one of them where everyone goes, I'm never going back to him. He's like a bad relation. He's like an ex anyway. He's like, I'm never going back. And then you're like, oh, I think you've seen Raiola again. Yeah, he's got good clients, hasn't he? Like, I don't think we can help but deal with Raiola. You don't want to. He hasn't got a good relationship with anyone. He falls out with everyone.
Raiola,
but you can't
the crack
not
of
deal
the
with
agent's
him.
world.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're giving one of his clients a new contract, if reports are to be believed. So
what, double P?
Who?
We could be giving him a new contract.
Yeah.
So.
There's also that. There's also, Jesse Lingard was a strange one with him going with him.
Did he actually though?
Yeah.
Because it happened and then there was nothing.
No, he did.
It's a good one for Jesse. I like to see Jesse.
It might also be like, I know this. Jesse doesn't want to leave United, and I wonder if he hired Raiola to keep him at United, which is the most un-Raiola move ever. But because he's so hard-nosed, Raiola, and gets what he wants, maybe that was the move. Because I was like, signing Raiola is indefensible. Like, I'm sorry, Jess, I love you, but that's indefensible when you sign Raiola.
I don't think it is.
But he's not left.
But I don't think it's indefensible.
Here's what
Why?
people who know that deal with Raiola.
Why? Is it indefensible?
Go on, Adam.
Because Raiola's a fucking blood-sucking cunt.
He's a good agent.
Let me finish. But I know anyone that's worked with Raiola, and people that know Raiola say he gets. I'll just hit you. He gets
social distance, dickhead.
Yeah, spit on him. Don't hit him. It's COVID.
That's illegal.
This guy.
Can't
Don't know what he's
people's
doing.
mouths anymore.
What
It's
can
not
you
like
do?
last week.
What can you do?
That's
Throw
tier
stuff
2.
at
I think
him.
that's tier 2.
Baseball.
Raiola gets what his clients want.
Yeah.
So whether that is a move, whether that's an improved deal or whatever, Raiola does seem to get what his clients want. So will we work with Raiola again? Yeah. What? If you don't work with Raiola, you don't work with George Mendes, you don't fucking sign players.
No. It's like when you wake up and you go, I'm never drinking again. You're still drinking because you like it.
Someone goes pub and you go, yeah.
You like the player, as in the drink, but you just don't like the morning after Raiola.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And you're going to have to deal with it.
Someone said Raiola's like an abusive partner, but United are into rough sex and ball stamping role play.
Jesus.
Someone's let off too much of their own.
Ball stamping.
Hector loves that. Hector loves a bit of that.
Has got to be the most unrelatable sexual fetish of all of them for me.
When I did law.
Doesn't do it for me.
When I did law, I did a case in law where because basically there was these geezers that were sadomasochists, innit? And they like nailed
Keylor Navas, did you say?
Keylor Navas. They nailed each other's what's-me-bobs to the floor. And this was sexual play. But one of them died. So the issue there is it murder?
No.
Because he wanted it done to him. He loved it.
Manslaughter. Putting the laughter in manslaughter there.
But it's a real case. RV Brownsea, and then there was RVR, which changed the rules because back in the day, a husband could
Dembele.
rape his wife.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That used to be the rule, yeah, it did.
If you were married to someone,
consent
was already there.
Yeah, there was no
RVR changed that.
charge for sexual assault between spousals.
Yeah, so that was RVR, that one. Changed it in 1980s.
Tough though, isn't it? But the thing is, though, if you've got a fetish of being hit by a car at 50 mile an hour, and I do it, I'm still going to prison. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it was his fetish. He was naked. I hit him knob first. And for that fraction of a second before he was destroyed by the car, he was in heaven.
It's the egg skull rule.
I think he's still got to go to prison, personally.
Eggshell rule.
The eggshell rule?
Yeah. So, like, you know, if you've got your skull is thin, like an eggshell.
What is happening here?
I'll just give you a little slap.
Yeah.
That's not really going to kill you, but I don't know you got a fucked up skull, but that little tap kills you, it's still murder.
And it should be, do you think?
Yeah, of course.
So you think it's almost like the Mark Bosnich, the crime, the punishment is based on the result of the action rather than the action itself?
Yes, but in death it should be right.
But not in ACL ligament damage.
ACL injuries.
Cool.
It was a long time ago, and a lot has happened since then. A lot of things have been in my body.
So are you saying then with Haaland, back to Haaland for a second, that first...
I didn't know it was off him.
First of all...
Yeah, we were supposed to clip that up.
First of all, Haaland then, you do think he'd want to join United. Second of all, and this is going to upset Adam, I'm sure, right now, would you take out Martial to put in Haaland?
In a fucking heartbeat.
Really? What about you, Adam?
Cool,
be honest,
cool.
be honest. Oh, Adam,
Go
stop it with
comments.
this.
Someone said, look at Ryan's comment.
I can't see it. I don't know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, let's move on. It's all right. We was only in the middle of a clippable bit of conversation.
Go on then. What do you think? Martial, is he leaving that squad for Haaland if we sign him next summer?
No.
Fucking course he is, Adam.
You mad, bro?
No, of course he is. Why is he going to spend?
Better than Rashford?
No, he ain't.
Yes, he is.
He's too selfish to play
100%
there.
he is. No, he's not. What are you on about? You just said in defence of Rashford that Martial's too selfish.
Yes.
I love Marcus, but
That's what I said.
Defensively,
moving on.
Rashford's a bit more selfless, should I say?
Defensively, Martial holds the team together, brother. You mad?
What, from the left?
Leading the
Not
line.
from the left, he doesn't.
Leading that line.
We're talking about a bit...
I don't think he does, though.
We're
Did you
talking
see
about...
Rashford without Martial last year?
You see Marshall without Rashford last
No,
year?
you didn't, because Rashford was fit almost all season.
Fucking fly in my drink. Can't be in my drink. That's
That's from all that shit that
waiter.
comes out your mouth, attracting flies.
Nice. So you think you would take Martial out for Haaland, but then you would take Rashford out for Martial? You're disrupting two positions.
Martial, Haaland, Rashford.
Rashford don't work on
And Fred.
Why can't you play Martial on the right? So Rashford doesn't have to move.
I do on FIFA. I have Cavani, Martial, Rashford.
The reason that he's trying to sign a centre forward is because Martial don't work down the middle.
Well, he does, quite clearly.
We don't know.
Yeah, he does, though.
It's like when people say Dalot or anyone could play right wing. It's because we've not had a good centre forward for that long that people think Tony Marshall
thing is,
is a good centre forward.
People like to
there,
live.
Marshall.
We have a game where Marshall don't score, and everyone goes, "Oh, he's fucking shit." But really, when you watch the games, what his number 9 play is actually very good. When you watch closely,
It's not though.
It is. I
It's
know
not
you're
though.
fishing. The game
I'm
is
not
about
fishing.
kickoff.
He's shit in the air. He can't hold it up.
Lies.
All he's good at is doing
Second one's lies. You've already fucked yourself.
that. He can't hold it up.
You've already fucked yourself.
He can't hold it up.
You've already fucked
Against the
yourself.
physical defence, he does not hold it
You've
up.
already fucked yourself. That's one of his strengths.
It's not.
Back to ball with the ball at his feet. Come on, son. They're taking the knee. They're ready for kickoff.
Show me.
I'll show you some clips.
This is good. This.
He doesn't hold it up. He
Yeah.
doesn't bring others into the game. All he's looking to do
He
is
doesn't
do
share
that
his
little-
sweets either when he gets them, does he?
All he's looking to do
One
is
sec.
do that dribble into the box.
More assists between him and Rashford than Cole and York. Doesn't bring others into the game.
Good point. He's done you there.
Not really, because as we've proved, with
game's
all
off,
these
by the way.
gigs, the
game
game's
is off, by the
advanced
way.
so much that the top teams are bitch slapping the bottom teams. You can't look. Marcus Rashford had better numbers than Terry
Now
Henry
you're talking
and
shit though.
Ronaldo.
Seriously, you're talking shit.
I'm not.
But you are, and people that say this about Marshall will never say it about Rashford, even though Marshall's a superior player, because he's English.
He's
Facts only, bro.
He's not
These
a
are
superior
facts.
player.
These are facts.
But I don't think he's a
by
superior-
far and away the superior player.
He's got
He's
better
by-
dribbling.
Better dribbling, better finishing,
Okay.
better strength, better with his back to goal.
No.
Yes, he does. Oh my days, bro. You didn't use that though. No ball.
But there are a lot of players who are.
And stop making me bring Marcus Rashford into
There's
this.
a lot of running, nowhere near. Pressing, nowhere near. Tracking back, nowhere near. All the other aspects of the game, which is what makes Marcus a better team player, he's not on the same level.
See, now you're
Interesting.
saying team
Would you
player.
say though that
yeah,
I
because
would
they're
say
playing
Martial
that
has
way.
better dribbling and as good finishing as someone like Mane, but he's not nearly as effective as him.
Plays for shitter managers for 2.
Why bring Ole into this?
And Mourinho.
What's he ever done?
Van Gaal.
You think Mourinho was a shit manager?
Yes.
Be honest.
At United.
What the fuck is that jacket, Julian? Honestly, these fucking Germans coming over here dressing like utter twats. You might be a good manager, but you got no fucking mirrors in that hotel, mate, or what?
I've got a lot of time for that.
He's wearing his big jacket because he's at Old Trafford. Look at Ronan in the comments. That jacket. It's just all caps.
Is that all?
Come on. Yeah, if you can just scroll up the comments, just so we don't see the goals and that.
So what I'm expecting from Leipzig, they'll play out the back. They'll also switch up formation 2 or 3 times during this and maybe make our heads spin doing it. And this annoyed me, actually. And I messaged someone at United's press team saying, why don't you stop the bullshit questions? Like, you see the press conference? It was an absolute fucking car crash, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You've got one of the most tactically interesting managers in the world, right? And Julian Nagelsmann.
Done him.
Like that. Right? You've got Julian Nagelsmann coming with one of the weirdest sort of tactical setups that you've ever seen from fucking anybody. Not one of them motherfucking journalists asked them a question about tactics. Ollie, have you worked on anything in the week that deals with multiple formations in one game? Have you dealt with anything that maybe makes the formation you're playing adapt into a different formation?
But the thing is, though, they're not
to match this.
They're not asking questions for interesting answers. They're asking questions for clicks.
So what the fuck are they there
for?
At
the moment,
because that's nonsense.
No,
if
but
you look at the team, lads, at the moment, it looks like a 4-2-3-1. I know Pogba's just sprinted out there and won the ball. We've got Matic and Pogba sitting. Fred's almost on the right. Marshall on the left. Greenwood's through the middle. I know it's the first 3 minutes.
Greenwood's on the right then.
Was he on the right then?
Yeah.
Well, confused him with someone, but the way we shaped up then was a 4-2-3-1 with Fred on the right.
People just want to say, why ain't Van der Beek playing? He got asked that twice.
Yeah.
The same question twice, essentially.
That's what made me lose my rag.
Yeah, same question twice.
That was literally what made me lose my rag watching it.
No, but these little pricks, because, I can jump on the pitch at Selhurst Park to celebrate a fucking goal and get banned from shoots and that. But these pricks can lie about people and lie about Rashford, about these people.
Why aren't the Sun banned?
Yeah, but I am. I'm banned. Little brown fella from Handsworth's banned, but these man ain't.
Are you from Handsworth? Is that what it's called?
Nah, I'm from the Zalzaston, really.
Because I used to play against someone called Handsworth. There's a Sheffield. There's Handsworth in Sheffield. Handsworth Hornets. You weren't called that at the football team, were you?
Nah. Hornets? Yeah, for a football team?
Like Wasps and that.
Like the Wasps and that?
What were you called? Handsworth
That's a rugby thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
Nah,
this
I
wasn't.
used to play for Birmingham District. I used to play for my school teams.
See?
Great Falcons.
Right, can I just mention
Falcon? NFL. Sorry, Steve.
Gabriel Abolo used to play for them as well.
Both our fullbacks attracted to... I didn't see who the forward was. Who's that just gone out?
Played Fred.
Is it Paulson?
Yusuf Paulson got licked up.
Oh! Go on, Paul!
Both of our centre-halves got attracted to him. And here's what they do very often. They like to move around and people will drop into the space in between. That's what Nkunku is really good at doing.
Who?
Nkunku, you heard me. And that's where they hurt you. It's because they move around that back four. They really manipulate them. And our defenders always fucking follow the ball like that and always follow the man and always get attracted. And that's why I wanted to go with a back three. Because you can allow one of them to fuck off and follow someone in a back three and you've still got a back four going on.
Luke Shaw's taking our free kick.
Better than Phil Jones taking corners though, isn't it? Let's be honest. Paul Pogba looks like he's up for it tonight, doesn't he?
Is it?
Well, yeah. Free kick. What do you think? That first man in front of our men. Oh no, back post. Go on, Harry.
Penalty.
Harry's won that.
Bang it,
Fred. He's passed that with his right foot.
It was a shot.
Goulashy
it was a
there.
shot from Fred. Why get excited?
Goulashy looks like a sort of B-Tech Petr Cech without the helmet. Does he not?
Well played.
Petr Cech and a mouse crossed together.
Like if you ordered Peter Cech off Wish.
Yeah. Or if you're like, this is a Petr Cech doll that was
fair,
clearly...
it was a shot on target from Fred.
Oh no, it deflected.
It deflected. It definitely missed it.
That's why it became difficult. Fred just found out he's right-footed according to Ben Hayes. Yeah, I agree.
Dr. Tomboy said I should leave Steve.
Leave Steve.
I should Janine hears that a lot as well.
She says it a lot. Go on,
Johnny! Go on, Luke. Go on,
Luke Shaw!
He's got his hands on his head. I think he knows.
I did as well.
I think he knows.
Oh, let me head there.
Fucking hell.
Oh, that's a foul.
And there's a free kick.
Go on,
Here we go. Let's go.
Check it, boys. Check it. Look at his face. Oh, he's got the face of a man who may have handballed it or may not have.
I think
There's too much going on. Everyone's taking a pet throwing.
Here we go.
It is Eid. It hits his head. Proper hits his head.
That concussion. Go and have a fucking sit down, son.
It's right on the back of his head.
Swatted him.
Everyone agrees with your Peter Cech comment. Beta Cech, someone said.
Beta Cech. Yeah, perfect.
Beta Cech.
Oh, is it beta?
Ross Murphy says, have you finished that Man United Old Trafford Lego set you bought off Wish, Stephen?
No,
Question is, have you started it?
You bought it off Wish?
No, Janine threw it away because it was 3,400 pieces with no instructions.
That's what you call your pizza at buffet experience, isn't it?
This is how you know the Howsons are balling.
Sorry. 3,400 slices, no instructions.
This is how you know the Howsons are balling, isn't it?
What?
Oh, you got a new Old Trafford toy, have you? Put that in the bin.
Old Trafford toy. Steve, you haven't played with the Old Trafford toy in weeks. Yeah, I filled it with yogurt, ate half of it, got bored of it. You would have filled that Old Trafford with rum and coke, wouldn't you?
How dare you?
Trying to drink it all in one. Absolute pervert.
I don't know.
Here's a question.
No one else made eye contact.
Do you know at some point there's going to be a caption or like a headline on a newspaper that's talking about United's formation for the next game, and it says "Diamonds are forever?" ? Will Ole play this formation again? Do you think he likes this, or do you think it is just because he wants to rest people? And I'll say it again.
Too early to say.
Diamonds are forever, Steve. Shirley Bass. What do you think, Adam?
No, I think that's awful, mate.
What do you mean that's awful, mate? I'm asking you a question.
Why aren't you coming out on Saturday?
I'm allergic or something. Do you think that we'll come back to that? Do you think that we're going to keep trying to play this down, or do you think it is just a one-off for Leipzig, or because we're trying to rest people?
I feel like Ollie, now that he's got more options, will try different things against
He's
different
tactically flexible.
opponents.
I love that, and we were saying this a lot last season. I think that one of the reasons he always played the two holding midfielders is because he didn't trust any of them to play it by themselves.
Yeah.
And I still think that's the case.
There we go. Fredge won it high. He's played it to Mason Greenwood.
Go on, May.
It was Pondy right hand side, and he's fell over. So why aren't you coming out on Saturday?
Prior engagements.
You're not allowed out.
I am. Of course you are.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you are.
No, you're not.
Got to be in before 10.
Yeah.
Foot champs.
We're only starting at 9.
Is it foot champs? Is it?
It's not foot champs, no.
Fucking loser.
I ain't got a controller. I broke my controller.
Fucking loser.
Keep breaking controllers, and it's not because of that.
We're gonna buy one for
Ryan Edwards says diamonds are a girl's best friend. Thoughts?
Hey, Ryan, get to the studio.
on, Toto.
We'll fuck this clown off.
Oh, Mason! Who's that in the middle?
Mason.
Fred, Harry Maguire's playing well high up there.
Oh,
Oh, what's that for?
Oh, fuck you.
Martial it was.
just teed him up for the goal.
Good pressing by Martial there. Upamecano, I think it was, played it to Fred. Fred down the line to Martial. Martial across to Mason, and he played it behind him. Martial does that, Martial does that a lot. Plays the ball behind people. Did it to Rashford against
Well, he
Tottenham.
still should have hit it.
He should have hit it, but that was a poor pass across.
Still should have scored it.
That's one problem he does have, actually, Martial. What you got, Steve?
Got a text.
It's like Love Island in here.
Shut up, you dick.
Okay. Do you watch Love Island, Adam?
Nope.
Why not? I think you'd be great on Love Island. They're all lifting weights and you're making omelettes with the girls.
Yeah, I wouldn't lift weights, but
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't be. You'd be making
I
omelettes
don't
for the
got
boys.
pecs, I got text, bitches.
You'd be like, breakfast is ready, boys, and they all come grunting over. You'd love that.
I wouldn't be making breakfast.
What would you be
for any
making?
other man them at
Making
all.
love.
Not with the man.
Alright. Up to you, mate.
I wouldn't mind going on like a old lads Love Island.
Yes, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
I'd be mint on
Love Island, yeah.
just getting smashed and verbally abusing everybody.
I think you'd be off. You'd be kicked out immediately. Or you'd be one of them that hits someone and then climbs out of the set. Like, do you remember Sandy on Big Brother?
I would.
Do they?
You get destroyed.
I've never
They
seen
bend you in half.
1 minute of 1 second of one show of Love Island.
Right.
What's the crack?
They're
It's
all
basically
wipes, They're all wet wipes as well. That's the
Sexy
word.
wet wipes, like 10 women, 10 men, and they live in like a Big Brother house, but it's like nice.
It's like hot and shit.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's in like Marbella or something. And then
Is
basically
it,
you have to.
Is it?
Are you just saying all you can eat?
Is it wristband caper? All inclusive.
It's all inclusive, but they decide what you have.
Oh.
So it's all paid, bought and paid for.
Wait. So
Well,
Steve
you're
can
with
wake up.
absolute wet wipes.
What makes you think I'll talk to him? What makes you think I won't just stare at them until they cry? Right?
Then
I wake up
but
and
here's the
ask for
problem,
rum and
Steve.
ribs.
No.
Rum ribs and belly rubs.
It's not room service.
No, I'll be by the pool.
You have to make your breakfast. Here's the question though, Steve.
Here's
What you're meant to do.
Linda
You have to pair up with women. Now, of course, let it be stated for the record, you are married.
I am married.
But as a TV show, you don't have to kiss them. You just have to be in a partner. It could be a friendly one.
Okay.
But someone has to like you.
Listen.
Oh!
I'm a likeable guy, mate.
Bro, you lot are missing some football here, you twats.
Don't worry about that. We're talking about Love Island.
Marshall, Pogba, Van der Beek, little cheeky flicks round the corners.
It's a foul!
No, watch it. That's a
Penalty!
He waved it.
Sure.
He waved it. Oh, that's a foul.
Lindelof in on Campbell.
Every time.
Every
fucking
you missed
time.
that though. In the build up to that, Victor Lindelof brought the ball out 40, 50 yards with the ball at his feet.
Anyway. Yeah, I can easily do that.
You think?
Yeah.
Just make one person like you enough to not get voted off?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You just got to make the audience like you enough not to get voted
No,
off.
not on Love Island.
Yeah.
Love Island, you get voted off by the cast members, not by the audience.
Nah, it's both, innit?
I don't know, actually.
I'd make some of them cry.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
The women mostly, would you say?
No.
The boys?
Yeah.
They're tough.
Now, trust me,
They're not tough,
us
they're
lot
muscly.
are too real to be around wet wipe geezers. So that would force you to go around
With the
the
girls.
females who are being real because they're just being themselves. The geezers in there are wet wipes, bruv. Like proper.
You said you
I've
met someone
been
from Love
around some
Island
of them,
and that
like-
it was sound, though.
Yeah, but like because they're not acting like they are on TV. Do you know what I mean? I remember when I used to do some events and that, and you'd have like all these people off like all them different shows, not just Love Island, the other ones and that as well. And you'd see half of them and you'd think, you're all dickheads. Like, you've got nothing up there, but they kill it because they're just famous. They're very famous.
Got a lot of pecs.
A lot of pecs, no texts.
I'd sunbathe, drink so much fucking rum they'd have to investigate it,
Yeah.
and just eat ribs all day.
You'd spread rumours as well, I think. You go like a sort of, like, you'd be in the diary room thing, or whatever it's
I'd
called.
go on Big Brother.
Would you? If you had to go on any, like, reality show, what would it be?
That
Strictly. Go Strictly.
No, shut up, you dickhead.
Cakes.
That capture one where you have to like fucking get off with them chasing you.
Oh, he just that's good. That's good. The
That's
chase,
really good.
not the chase.
Hunted.
I'm doing that.
You'd be great
like
like that.
that. I like
Steve
that.
would just
We
paint
should
himself
do that.
like a tree and stand still
I
for
reckon
2
if we
weeks.
applied, they'd let us on because we're social media.
Because we're dickheads on YouTube.
Yeah.
Don't think it works like that.
Sad acts.
They might do.
They might do. You'd think you'd do well what you want.
Nah, it's because
Steve,
well, there's things like you can't use your phones. You know that. He's in the army, so he'd be good.
I've got a feeling
Think about it, he'd
here's
be
what
very
Steve
good.
would honestly do.
He'd be very good.
He wouldn't go to a cash point. He wouldn't use his phone. He'd,
know
eat,
what I?
he'd eat grass for a month.
No
Nor
one.
would I.
No one. But I would be robbing people left, right, and centre.
You're not allowed to do that. On the show, they'll still arrest you. Stephen
He'd
has,
have notes
Stephen
plugged up his
has
arse.
tied up an old lady in a farmhouse and has stolen all of her cheese.
There's another fucking fly in my drink. Fuck, Alex.
All that shit you're talking.
Please get me a new drink, please. I don't know, but I'd like a new drink, please.
You're like a kid at a birthday party, you Steve. Mom, I got a fly, Mum, it's juice.
Right, anyway, just stick the camera on me while Alice goes and gets my new drink.
Go on,
Thank you.
Alice.
Cheers, Alice. I'll have Alice.
Who the
Alice,
fuck
look
is
at me.
Alice?
Alice, look at me. Look at me. Rum, no rum. Okay.
Dion Bake-Off.
Right.
Bake-Off's gone shit since they brought that.
There was a
Right.
little exercise that we
Don't
did.
you dare.
Fucking ruined it.
Where they sent us to London and they gave us like 20 quid and you had to get back to North Yorkshire. And you weren't allowed to rob anyone. But if you did, and you did anything wrong, you had this letter from the commanding officer which was like, these are soldiers on exercise. Don't lock them up, basically. I got a lift.
You got to lift up?
Yeah.
Who by?
There was a geezer. We managed to get to a service station. There was a geezer hitchhiking, and I just stayed with him. And then we got a lift all the way back.
You know what they do though, Steve? They basically, those guys who are trying to track you, they go to all the most prominent sort of A roads and slip roads and stuff, and they'll find you. You're gonna have to get a lift off of like
Don't worry about it.
not
I will-
Mancunian way.
I will just. What's the crack? Give me the scenario because I've heard of it and
Right.
I've seen it.
We dropped you off at a van in the middle of Manchester, and it actually
time?
was the middle of Manchester. What?
What time?
Midday.
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 Sound.
Thursday.
Okay.
Then you get 45 minutes. No, it's like 10 minutes head start to get out, run away, and then after 10 minutes we're sending agents on the ground to come and find you.
No
And
problem.
we've got helicopters. We've got all the access to CCTV. We
What's
can see-
my go pack? What am I going with?
I don't know if you can decide that yourself. I think you can decide yourself.
All right, give me a scenario.
This is why you
of
man
what's
think
my go
Marshall's
pack.
shit because you don't watch the games.
How dare you? We love Marshall.
What-
Luke, man.
What's my starting pack?
I don't know. I think you can pick what you want.
Well, you tell me.
You can have a compass, a backpack with a tarpaulin in it. You can have a spare pair of clothes.
I've got an A to Z of like
the
north of England, say.
Yeah, an A to Z. But here's what the thing is: you get 2 weeks or whatever it is, or a month. I think it's 2 weeks. In that time, after about a week, we're going to tell you there's a what's it called, LZ or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to get to it in the country, and whoever gets there, and there's a boat. Let's say you get dropped off in Manchester. It might be in Hartlepool or like Suffolk or something. There's a river or a lake. You have to get to that place on the day, on the time, and get to the middle of the lake without being caught.
That's how they get you. See, I did an escape and evasion exercise. And I got caught in it 3 hours, right? I got caught about 8 minutes after
buying hot dogs at IKEA.
Stop moving. Right, this is pre-fat Steve, right?
Sorry,
so let's not be like that. I was
bars
a
at IKEA.
fucking fresh young trooper.
Before you go
straight
into
out
the
of
story,
training.
Darren wants to know how much rum you've got available to you on the super chat.
Enough to sink a pirate boat.
There you go. Carry on.
So I got caught immediately and did the interrogation phase, which was not fun. And they do laugh at your cock, which isn't fun either.
What?
They won't laugh at mine.
They strip you off and go, "You fucked that." Yeah.
Not really. No.
There's a lot of borderline homosexuality in there.
Oh
No,
yeah.
they get a chicken to do it.
And I don't even think it's just
They
borderline.
get a chicken to do
A
it.
chicken.
Yeah.
I think the
chick.
line gets
Oh,
crossed.
a lady.
Lady.
Female.
Anyway, so
Get some
okay.
chickens to peck at your
Here's
nuts
what you
for a
do.
bit.
Here's what I do. On
Cover
that
me in
100,
grain.
I'm dropped off in Manchester City Centre.
Yes.
Here's what I know about Manchester City Centre. There's about 1 million deliveries happening a day. DHL, Parcel Force, all that kind of jazz. I'm going to twat one of them drivers and take his keys.
Illegal.
That's what I'm doing.
You can't do that on the
And
show.
what?
You'll get kicked off the show for doing that.
Well, that's fucking shit then, isn't it?
Well, for breaking the law on telly.
You've dropped me off in Manchester City Centre. I'm on CCTV. Okay. Well, okay.
have to get off the
what
grid.
I'm going to do is maybe go and get myself a little sleeping bag, walk around like I'm a little homeless man. Then I'm going to twat someone. Then I'm going to steal his van. Then I'm out there onto the Dales. And I'm going to be dug in, hard routine, OP, not fucking catching me, my friend. I'll stick in there for a week until I get my little dead letter drop fucking location. And I'll be on there having it large. And I'll just keep swapping vehicles.
You've been kicked off after day one for beating up a DHL driver. People in the comments saying that Donny's not been great so far. Adam, what are you saying? Our eyes on the
Not
ground.
had much chance to get
Been
on the
18
ball.
minutes, lads.
The minutes he has, he's tried to link up well. It's his first start apart from that one in the League Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, relax a little bit, innit?
Yeah, we need to chill.
Janine's
19 minutes
messaged
in.
me saying, you ate a snail once, it's I'm a celeb.
Oh. Why have you eaten a snail, you big weirdo?
There's one in my garden.
No, it wasn't even escargot, or whatever they call it in France.
Escargot. No, it
I've
was.
had that before.
It was a Escar St George's Road.
Did you garlic butter it in that? You had it raw off the rock. Did you at least wesh it?
No, it was on the grass, and I think my mate went, 30 years I've known you, never known you back out of anything, eat a fucking snail. So yeah.
Oh, you one of them though? 30 years I've known you, never known you back out of anything.
Yeah,
Kiss
it
a kiss.
crunched.
If you'd have said that, would you have done it? I bet you would have. 30 years I've known you. Don't make me say it again. Have you ever had a snail, Adam?
Nah, I don't eat stuff like that.
The
weirdest thing I ate was with you guys in Singapore last year.
Stingray.
That was the weirdest shit I've ever
That
ate. Like, people hate me for it, but I won't be adventurous.
Are you a bit of a cheese
I'll
on
go
toast
somewhere, and
kind
if
of
I
guy?
can't see something, I'm just going to say, give me a burger. You know what I mean? Give me a chicken and chips. Like, I'm going to simplify it down. Like,
So
vegetarian food, I don't mind being a little bit wild. It's
We have
just
stuff
different
like-
meats and like
we not have
animals
like goat and stuff like that.
Because you know when you go mad with different vegetarian people, they put more flavour into their food. So if you go to an
'cause it tastes
Indian
like
vegetarian place, nah, bro. If you go to like an Indian vegetarian,
It does before
restaurant,
they
food's
flavour it.
banging.
Isn't it like 40% of India's vegetarian?
Yeah, so
So
on the
that's why
motorway,
Indian
I went
food
on
is so good when it's
when I
veggie.
went India the first
Martial!
time.
Oh, not even Martial, it's Greenwood. Fantastic finish.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Fantastic
The
finish.
one time I don't watch
Played
the game,
in.
who's that?
Oh, lucky, mate. I
fucking
saw
calm
it.
was he?
I saw it. Because I thought he was offside.
Here's Joe.
The reason I didn't go mad is because I thought it was
hell.
offside. It's a lovely finish. It's the sort of finish we don't see from him much. Just passes
Here we go.
it.
Let's have a look at this.
Fred wins the ball
winning
back.
it again.
Look at this pass
The
here.
Pogba
Look
in
at this pass.
acres.
He's off. See
He's
you
on,
later.
he's on.
No, he's off.
He's off.
He's off. You were right to not celebrate.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He's threaded this through the eye of a needle, though.
That we're seeing that at.
Look
If
at
you were
that.
level with
Look
that,
at
would that be
that.
alright?
Oh,
finish.
Joe, it's such a good finish and it's such a good pass and it's so offside.
Yeah.
No, but Is that because the angle that we were looking at was ahead of it, rather
we can't
than
see.
level of it?
I don't know if it's Canate there.
It's a great finish.
They're just going to check it.
It's swiped off this, I think.
You can't see the other guy's foot who's in front of Greenwood, but that's why I didn't go mad, because I thought he looked offside.
See, that didn't look offside to me.
Do you not?
It's one of them where you need the ruler. If you need the ruler, for me, the lineman should have a screen behind him. Look with his eyes, no ruler. Bro, is that all right? Yeah, that's cool, and carry on.
We need the line though.
That's on. To me, that's on, because look where we're looking at that from.
Yeah.
So if you're on that line, you see where the grass line is. Are they going to be level?
See, the thing is, there's no advantage there. That's the problem.
Yeah,
No.
it's a
There's no
foot size,
advantage.
it's a boot size.
His toe was a bit further in front, so that means he gets there to the ball in front of you.
Oh, he's
What?
giving it.
He's giving it.
I told you, bro.
Yeah, but that's not how they normally do
We
it.
saw the TV camera.
What the
We
fuck?
never
That
saw
was
the
weird.
VAR camera.
That's bollocks.
How weird's
Bro,
that?
look at the angle that we were looking at.
No, I know we didn't see the proper one, but that looked like it would at least
Nah,
be
it
a
weren't
ruler
offside.
job.
That weren't offside.
Yeah, exactly.
That weren't offside. Mason Greenwood.
Great finish.
Greenwood.
Such a yeah, what a goal. Well done.
That was a lovely finish, that
So what
one.
show you
Pogba with
going
the
on, Joe?
assist as well.
Bake
India
off.
we were talking about.
Yes.
Bake off for Joe.
They are.
The subcontinent.
It is all veg on the motorway.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you once you hit, I went on a 24-hour road trip from Gujarat, where my family's from, to Agra, where the Taj Mahal is.
Yes.
24 hours it was, because we were supposed to go on a train. That train blew up. Mad.
Like what? Like
So the
natural
carriage we were supposed
causes.
to sleep on just blew up. So we travelled down in the car.
Blew up.
24-hour journey. Every fucking service station, you'd see the words pure veg, pure veg, pure veg. That's all I had was veg. Brother, I was going mad after a bit. Like after a few meals of like, there's only so much masala dosa you can have. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's not bad though, is it?
It's good that, but it's only
What
so
a
much.
finish.
But the thing is though, sometimes as well, especially if you're not used to
Evil Peter Cech looks
that kind
angry,
of
doesn't he?
food all the time, it probably is better sometimes to go for vegetarian stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, Greenwood just scored, and to celebrate his goal, we got a super chat coming in from Carl Hagen who says Greenwood is on another level. Imagine how good he's going to be in 3-4 years. Look how good he is.
I believe this is his first ever start in the Champions League, isn't it? And if it isn't, it's certainly
RB
one of the first.
in the box. Red Bull
Good
bastard.
save.
I had chicken in Oman from a service station, and they had chickens in wooden like little cages behind
Coops?
them. Yeah.
Did you eat that? That's what, yeah.
Him.
Yeah.
Did you point to it and go, him?
We saw the chickens, and it basically just said curry in English, and then it was just loads of Arabic, and we was like, chicken, curry. And the guy was like, got you.
And the guy was like,
Give us a little
yes,
pot
cheers
like
mate, I
that.
speak English.
Give us a little pot like that with a little bit of curry in it. It was like licking lava.
Was it? In a good way?
It really
Give me
tasted.
that
It
Krakatoa.
blew my fucking head off.
When we arrived in Gujarat in our village, yeah, Salada.
Good defending, Maguire.
When
Sorry
we
for
arrived in
shouting.
our village, my uncle's neighbour had a chicken running around the garden in it, and then
For eggs.
about 2 days later, my uncle's like, "Oh, here's some chicken curry that the neighbours made for us," and the chicken had disappeared. You
Oh,
get me? But
no.
it was that chicken.
Was it?
That
Was
we
it good?
saw. Like he just chopped his chicken up. That's what they do.
That's what people
Oh, I'll
do.
give you my chicken. Chop it
In
up,
most
cook it.
places, it's like that in England until
But it was a marger-ass chicken. like,
supermarkets
proper
came along. You would keep not livestock, but chickens especially are easy to keep. It's
Think you could cook your own food?
Go on, read that. Read that.
it's No Man 786.
It's some Gucci in there.
Someone tell the son so. You read
Ball
it.
chair.
Bowler chair. Greenwood, the best finish at the club. Thoughts?
I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Would I kill my own food?
I'm a coconut.
I do
proper.
fish in that. I could eat. I could sort of kill the fish,
The fish
scale
count?
it and eat it. Yeah, of course.
Fish are fucking idiots, mate.
So are chickens.
That's a good point.
I won't kill a dolphin or a crow
Chickens is the best animal.
or a
isn't it?
pig. Pigs are too smart.
Like food in.
I
No,
wouldn't
pig.
mind doing hunting to
Cow or chicken, you can't.
I don't like fuckers that go and hunt lions and elephants and just take a picture of it. They can all die in a
Oh
fire.
yeah.
But like, if you go and hunting and eating it, I got no issues with that whatsoever. Especially if you eat meat. If you're a vegetarian, you go, I don't like that. I go, okay, cool. But if you eat meat and you're like, ugh, you're
No.
a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So I eat meat. I love it. So I wouldn't have a fucking issue with doing like I'd love to do a bow shoot with turkeys. It'd be fucking mint.
Have I had eating biryani? Of course I have, man. What is
Or
it?
pig.
Fucking everyone's eating biryani.
Do you like biryani? Is that like a go-to?
Biryani rice with meat and that in
It's
it. right?
cooked. It's all cooked together and
The
baked,
best one I had was lamb.
and then you get like the crispy rice and you stir it all together after.
Morocco had some fucking unreal lamb. when I went to Morocco.
Meat's the best.
Meat is the best.
Yeah, sorry for the wildness on the chat. We're going all over the place. The game is 27 minutes in. 1-0 to Manchester United. Mason Greenwood on the score sheet. Is that his second goal of the season? Mason Greenwood's? He scored already this season, I know that.
Against who?
He did score.
It seems like he has, but I can't think of
it.
Oh, so you look at the line there. We're seeing the VAR line now. It's literally, it looks bang on this in line, doesn't it? Which is onside, of course.
Maybe.
I'm glad it was on. At first glance, though, I thought, because they were crossing over, weren't they? So at first glance, it looked off, but I'm glad the ref didn't put this thing up. Van der Beek keeping the ball there. Pogba's got a bit of extra energy to him tonight. He's been dispossessed quite well there by...
Yeah, you just shut up talking about people.
I'm sure.
It's the only time you look at Martial, he does something wrong. Whole game he's been mint. You look at him, fox up. It's the evil eye.
It's like an electron.
It's your third eye is very evil.
Fuck off with that jacket.
I know. He looks like a twat now, doesn't
Just to clarify, he's talking to Nagelsmann, not me, by the way.
He is talking to you, by the way. Ritesh's gran calls them a coconut.
Who?
Ritesh. Yeah, we all get called coconuts.
Yeah.
Then maybe our grandparents shouldn't have moved here.
Where's Tellez, Steve?
We've asked him. It's the third time we've asked him it.
Yeah, but he won't answer.
Don't fucking know.
Text one of your boys.
Phone the Larry. Say, can you put me through to Alex Tellez?
It's probably there.
See what happens. Go on. He's thinking about it.
That's what we should do. Turn this into full on, like, what's it called? Howard Stern shit, this, isn't it?
Hello, my name's Alex Tellez. Which is my room again?
Do you know after we had Rennie on? Do you have to...
but sir, you haven't checked in. Your hamstring's injured.
Thank you.
I don't think that's going to happen, is it?
Do you know what? That's 100% more journalism than anyone at the MEN's done in 14 years.
Good work, Joe.
Cheers.
After we had Rennie on, a couple of years ago, I was trying to get Solskjaer on, and I messaged him. I messaged Rennie and said, "Have you got Ollie's number? I'd like to do a podcast with him." And he didn't say yes. He just replied with his number. I was like buzzing. So I phoned him and he didn't answer. And then I texted him. This is before he's United manager. He's at Mulder. This is the August before he was appointed in December. And I texted him saying, "Hi, I'm United fan channel. Can we come and do a podcast with you? Like fly over to Norway." Do you remember flying? Do you remember travelling?
No.
Remember that shit? So I texted him and said blah 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 blah, and he just put okay. And you're like, fuck me now. I've asked you 400 questions here, and like there's travel arrangements, there's all sorts of shit, and you just put okay, and you're like, fuck's sake. So then I left it because we didn't have any cash to go do the journey anyway. Norway's well expensive to get to.
And expensive when you're there, I think, as well.
Oh, yeah. So I'd left it for a bit, and then there was rumours that he was getting appointed by United. So I phoned him 5 times. And my plan was to just pretend to be someone from the club and be like, "Hi, we're just confirming your travel agents for tonight, Joe," just to see if he'd finger. But yeah, he didn't answer.
That would have been good, wouldn't it?
We never tried to dupe the manager of Manchester United.
Yeah, not only would you have been put on a blacklist, you would have been reported to the police.
Why?
I think you're not allowed to assume the identity of other people in order to gain like private details.
Well, no one ever gets arrested on catfish.
Listen, I said the club. I am a member of a club.
Which club?
Don't you worry about that.
A member.
I actually am a member of that club.
Right. United then, I reckon we may be more suited to the likes of the Champions League, the FA Cup, the cups generally, than we are to the league.
Are you saying we're shit?
No, I'm not saying we're shit. I'm saying that we've got great players who can turn up in a single game or in a 2-legged fixture, maybe more than they can over 38 games. How far do you think we can go in the Champions League? Obviously, 3 semi-finals last year.
Scousers won it in 05 when they were not good, and they fluffed their way through to a final when they then fluffed their way through to winning it.
Yeah.
The best team in Europe does not always win the Champions League. Very often, that the best team in Europe. I mean, last year it did with Bayern Munich. I'd say they were the best team in Europe.
Yeah.
But very often, the best team in Europe does not win stuff, and when that happens, you've got a chance. And when you get into, if you can get to a semi-final, you've got a chance. Because all it takes is one bad game, especially the away goals and all that caper works. Mm-hmm. One bad game in a semi-final, you can fuck yourself up big time. And United, like anyone can go into a low block against anyone and defend for their life. We see it all the time. You see the upsets in the cup. You see Wigan beating Manchester City. You see so many like small clubs get through in cups because it literally relies on that one thing. You've never seen anyone fluke a league. Doesn't happen.
No, even Leicester were just the best team in the league that year.
No, and that's why they fell off the next year, because they also had Europe contend to. Jesus,
I hate them headers when it looks like it's going that way, but it's coming this way.
Yeah.
Upamecano commits a foul in the box just as it looked like they had a chance. Still,
and I think, you can always fluke it in a cup, and I think, all right, 3 semi-finals isn't 3 finals, and it isn't 3 trophies. It's not bad though. It's better than 3 first-round exits.
If I told you we'd get to 3 semi-finals this year, you'd expect us to win a trophy, right?
But 3 semi-finals this year, I mean, it could obviously be Carling Cup. No, it couldn't. I was going to say Cups. It has to be them 3. If we get 3 semi-finals this year, that's ridiculously well done, because one of them is a Champions League this time, not just a Europa League.
Oh, Victor's made his first mistake of the game, giving the ball away.
Champions League.
Champion.
Just on the edge of his box.
Champions League.
Working it. Angelino with a volley. Blocked by
So you see how narrow our defence went, almost to the width of the back, of the 6-yard box then, which has to leave then, like Angelino, top scorer for RB Leipzig, in acres of space. See, doubled up on Wan-Bissaka at the back post.
Same thing Brighton did.
Well, what did I fucking say before the game as well? That's exactly what they're going to do. And he was like, well, they have to fucking defend. Well, they fucking didn't, Adam.
Well, that's their fault. One, I don't know why Wan-Bissaka's gone so central. He needs to hold his line. You're a fullback, not a centre-back.
Because you go narrow when you be...
No, but you don't need to. There are 2. If he just shifts across 5 yards there, it's fine. I don't see the issue. And Mason Greenwood's walking back, that's why.
Well, that's something that we know.
That's my issue with
we know Mason isn't, naturally keen on coming back and defending.
That jacket.
I'm getting used to it now.
I'm going to say it every time.
We've got
it's a shit jacket.
We've got a super chat in from Christopher Hawkins. He says, do y'all think the Cavani signing can help Martial to learn instinctive poacher runs to the near post?
He almost answers his own question there by putting the word instinctive in, because I think it's one of those things that you don't tend to learn. You can get better at it, you can improve at it, but he's never going to be Ruud van Nistelrooy in the box. He's never going to be Cavani in the box. He can get better, and maybe Cavani will teach him, or he'll learn from... The thing is, really, what you need to do is think, if he's Martial, he needs to think, right, Cavani's here, I need to learn from him, rather than being like, let's do some training sessions where you're meant to be learning from Cavani, because I don't think that'll go down well.
I think
if he's the sort of player who wants to learn, there's a lot to learn.
This week in an interview, didn't he?
Ian Wright and I think Stan Collymore mentioned that they literally did training sessions where they had older strikers sort of talk to them about hold up play, your late runs, third man runs, that sort of stuff, and literally taught them their position.
Well, you would, wouldn't you?
I don't think with the egos in football these days that'd necessarily work.
I think you're being naive to you think people don't speak to you.
We say that. You say that though. Michael Owen has come out since he retired and said, "No one ever taught me where to stand."
Friends.
Yeah, but that's not coaching.
He doesn't even watch films.
Yeah, but so he doesn't watch films, so he's a shit striker.
Bro, it's Michael Owen. This is what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean he's lying.
It's naive to think people don't speak in football, or they're gonna have so much ego that they can't go to. If you think the likes of Martial, Rashford, Greenwood haven't looked at the Cavani and thought, my man's an amazing striker.
No.
He's coming in now. We can soak some of that up.
That's not what I said. I said that's what they should be doing. I'm saying if Ole goes, right, Anthony, your teacher today is Edinson Cavani. I think that may not be the best way to do it.
You don't have a teacher. It's not school where I'm going to go.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If Martial feels as though Ole's saying that here you go, learn from Cavani. Yeah, I'm saying that's what should happen. I agree with you. What I'm saying is, will they just go out and teach them, or will they be using Cavani as an example to teach Martial? I don't think
when
that's
you're
a good
not
idea.
in the team and you're watching. Yeah, what are they doing?
I completely agree with that. I agree with what you're saying.
I don't think they'll be like Cavani's taking this session.
No,
but I do think that there's sessions where they would be maybe looking at different things. I mean, I would actually love to see what the week of a Manchester United footballer looks like.
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I think so many people would be shocked because there's probably 6 or 7 hours of watching footage in there with explanations and sitting with the analysts, and they'll go through your individual stuff. Here's what you did with that. You want to have a shift out from your right foot on this one. Here's where your positioning's wrong. So you've got your team-based stuff. You've got your individual-based stuff. You've then got your strength and conditioning, which they've got to do all throughout the week. They've got to go and see the dietitians, the nutritionalists. Like, there's so much more than just turning up for half an hour for a kickabout.
Did you see as well that there was reports this week that United are looking at getting a sports scientist or some sort of football scientist.
Well, you mean we haven't had one for the last 20 years?
Casey, if you could have a look at that, data analyst or whatever it was. United looking at hiring a data analyst.
They would have already had a data analyst.
Do you think it's another one? Yeah. Okay. So obviously that sort of side of the game is relatively new in compared to tactics or formations and stuff. Do you think that sort of thing is the thing that people criticise Ollie and say you haven't got any tactics? Is all this no tactics, just vibes
so
bullshit?
Lazy.
But what I'm saying is, it is lazy. I don't agree with it.
No, it's lazy. That's my answer. Yeah, it's such lazy
think it's
criticism.
Just lazy?
It's just fucking
just wrong.
You could even say I don't like his tactics, or I don't think his tactics are right, or even just be honest and say I don't know what his tactics are because
I think that's what it is. I think that's
a
what
lot
it
of
is.
people are just since we've seen Pep and Klopp come in and they've had a name to what their style of play is, a gegenpress or whatever, 6 seconds of fury with Pep Guardiola and all that. When you've got these things, it's easier to put. You don't know what 6 seconds of fury is?
Sounds like a game show. You're watching 6 Seconds of Fury with Pep Guardiola.
When you lose the ball, 6 seconds to get it back.
Is it anything like 7 minutes in heaven? Yeah. We used to play that.
7 minutes is that?
No one ever picked me.
That's what I give you, girl.
Very cool. 6 Seconds of Fury. Yeah, I know what it is.
What is it?
Where you got once you lose the ball, you got 6 seconds of intense pressing to try and get it back, and if you don't get it back after that time,
it was a Barcelona.
You drop back.
Who's got 6 seconds?
The team who gave the ball away. See you later. Per Christian Stilo with the super chat sent 50 knock. Should VAR do anything about that jacket? Possible red card in my book. What do you think, Steve?
No. Yeah.
Suspended.
I don't know if Steve's the right person to be commenting on jackets.
On fashion.
I think I'm the fashion
SAS chic. Guru.
I don't like this comment.
Cockwan over here.
$4.99 from LLR. He says, I heard Nick Cage is a big Steve fan and he wants to play you in a film about your life.
Lord love
Fuck
Rocky.
Nick Cage and fuck Harry Kane.
What if Harry Kane played Nick Cage? I mean, Nick Cage played Harry Kane.
You couldn't read a script.
You can read it in his head, he just can't read it out loud. Someone said, all right, should be 3-0 down by now, apparently, according to your mate.
Good job of 1-0 up.
Exactly. They haven't had many chances like Big. Mr. Geordie.
Oh, is he watching this game as well?
Apparently.
Bryce sound. They're all sound. You know what you got to realise when you're talking with non-Manchester United fans? We have ruined their lives for 20-odd years. Their childhoods were dominated by Manchester United.
How far Maguire was out.
The one time that True Geordie got close to seeing his team win a Premier League, we fucked it up for them. Lars, he's a Liverpool fan. Rory is a Chelsea fan. We have hurt these guys' feelings consistently for long, and now it's their chance to get us back. Do you know what I mean? So I think you just got to realise that sometimes and put them in a place a little bit. But I love them.
Yeah, and it's the same with Bielsa. Bielsa's got a very very obvious style of play, and if you haven't got a trademarked obvious style of play, then who are you? But ultimately, what was Fergie's style of play?
The Guardiola style.
But what was Fergie's style of play?
It was just mental.
And I know people, you can summarise Jose's a bit more easily.
Wingers. No,
but people used to, when Jose was first at Chelsea, or when Jose
someone would
moved
say,
abroad
play youth
to Madrid and to
like it's a style of play.
People just acted as though, sit back and counter-attack. Like, that's all he says to them.
That Chelsea team were an absolute juggernaut.
Insane.
Fuck off,
15 goals conceded in a full season. Philip
Give
Mershon.
some silly fouls. This ref is a pussy hole, you know.
With the super chat, it says, with that jacket, Nagelsmann could be presenter of 6 Seconds of Fury this fall on TV.
No, he said.
Did I see it right? It's Jasper Carrot.
But he sent the super chat in dollars. But he watches ITV.
Don't you worry about that. Did I see it right? Is Jasper Carrot presenting Channel 4 TV? Is it like the ball or the drop? Or
Golden Balls is back.
The Golden Ball.
It's not back. It's not.
I don't know.
I auditioned for that once.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Golden Balls. Just because you
applied
thought it
for
made you
Deal or
seem
No
like
Deal.
David Beckham.
Oh, got to line out.
I applied for Deal or No Deal, yeah. I really wanted to go on that shit. And then I got this phone call from someone and they're like, do you want to come on Golden Balls? And I was like...
Have you ever applied for any other TV shows?
Nah, it was just
shows?
Deal or No. I really wanted to go on Deal or No Deal. And then I just thought, all right, cool, let me go into this. It was down the road. I was in university, broke man. Thought, let me go do this. And then in the practice thing, I stole off this old lady at the end. Because we basically practiced the whole...
Yeah.
And then I never got a call back.
Really?
You ever applied for a TV show, Joe?
We've done this so many times. Yeah, I was on a game show years ago.
Oh, yeah, you showed me the picture.
No, we've done this.
Weakest link, right?
Yeah,
No,
whoever
what the
watching.
weakest
Comment in the comments if you didn't know like Joe was on a game show.
Well, Cameron did because he put it in before you even said it.
Sean says 6 seconds of fury accurately describes my first sexual experience.
Fury is a bit scary, but
It describes every sexual
There you
experience.
go. Didn't know. Yeah, Survivor was the one I was going for. It was Survivor.
is that the one where you get chucked on an island for 30 days?
Yeah, they
Is
give
that
you
with Melinda Messenger?
No, that
Don't
was
think
that
so.
was
Fort Boyard.
Fort Boyard.
Fort Boyard.
No,
was
that's one where they give you like literally a pound of rice to last you 6 weeks. And
Have you Googled Joe Smith, you idiot?
Just we've seen it. There's a picture on the thing.
We were literally working with idiots. The most common name. If you want to say a random name, you say Joe Smith.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do. Well, you say Joe Bloggs.
Right, sure then. Move your mic this way as well.
Joe doesn't say that.
From the Bay.
What do you say when you're going to say, when you say like Joe Bloggs? What do
Yeah,
you say?
Adam McKola. United are pushing down the left-hand
There is
side.
only one.
Yeah. Who is it?
Adam McKola.
Paul, who's that there? Martial. Good tracking
Jake
back.
says we're in upstairs, downstairs. What was it called?
Upstairs, downstairs.
You beat the internet, wasn't it?
Beat the internet, yeah.
You was on a show called Beek.
Yeah, and I won it.
Well, you didn't.
How
The
much did
internet's
you
still
win?
alive.
I won. How much did I win? I'll tell you what I won, Adam. Motherfucking Kindle. And that's it. Motherfucking Kindle is what I won.
You used your 15 minutes of fame to win a Kindle, bruv.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
know, it's upsetting, isn't it?
That's like...
We
you
can't
could have
put
at
it
least
on
won
anyway,
a
we've seen
pound
it.
or fucking...
It's more than £1. A Kindle's worth 60 quid.
Yeah, but I'd rather have got 1 pence on deal or
I've
no
talked about
deal
this
than
on here
that.
before, so half the people have heard this story. But at the end, I was like, "Oh, you've won a special prize." I was like, "Nice one." And then I went to the back room.
Wait, what were you thinking?
I was thinking, let me think. If it was,
Holiday.
I was thinking, there you go. I was thinking, if it's a holiday,
There, you dickhead. You just missed it. Scroll
I
up.
was thinking, if it's a holiday,
Yeah, right
they
there.
would have told us. But if it's not a holiday,
Oliver Cromwell.
if it's something good, Thomas Cromwell actually. I was thinking, if it's a holiday, they would have said, "You're going on a flight to Chile. Have you been to Montevideo before?" Right? And they didn't. So I was like, right, it's going to be a telly or a crosser or a fucking mobility scooter or something like that. Got back to the room, they were like, "Hi, here's your present." Hand it over. I was thinking, if you can hand it me, it's shit.
Yeah,
Unless it's
because
10 grand
if it
in
was
a
a
wallet.
good prize, surely they say it on the show.
Yeah.
Because if it's a shit prize, they're gonna want no one to know. They've
Yeah,
given you a
exactly.
shit prize, right?
So
You've won a hamper.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You've won a ploughman's lunch. So we went to
Selection
the
of
back.
cheeses from Norfolk.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fuck off.
Went to the back room, and they just like, there you go. And I was like, what is it? Kindle. I was like, oh, does everyone win a Kindle? He's like, no, some people have won big tellies and stuff. I was like, what? Did it just look at the draw? I got the shit.
Why are people saying Montevideo is in Uruguay? What did you?
Because
say?
I said Chile and then I said
Oh,
Montevideo.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry for Joe's shit geography.
Yeah, the capital.
I'd like to go to Uruguay.
Me too.
They like lager. They like beef. They like football.
The capital of Chile is Santiago, I think. So.
Santiago.
So if
do
Cavani
know.
can do something decent for us this
Santiago.
year,
Oh shit! Yeah, of course.
we
Totally
could
forgot
go
that.
and do a documentary in Uruguay.
You could do it anyway with
and then
Diego.
do one on Palestri.
Diego.
Palestri.
Oh.
So let's go do one on all three of them.
Yeah.
Us three go.
What's the
Tao Jay.
what's the national team nickname?
And what would the name of the vlog series we do?
Well, that's what
You're
we're
a
talking
guys. That's
Well, what Homer Simpson would say.
Casey just did that to me when I said you're a guys. Just thumbs down. That's not fair, is it? 44 minutes, nearly half-time. The half-time show will be coming up in a few moments' time
The
if they
Uruguayan
get
national
set up
football team had the
for
same
that.
nickname as Coventry City.
Daphne and Celeste.
The Sky Blues.
It's not really any play on words, with that, is it? It's a bit shit.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You're Celeste. Around.
Like Argentina's Angels with Dirty Faces.
Is that what
Is
they're
it?
called?
Yeah, it's that's Jonathan
Where have
Wilson.
they
done a
put
book on it.
those
It's
dirty,
fucking
dirty
great.
faces?
It's really good.
You
Jonathan
can't-
Wilson's a hell of a writer.
Uruguay's legalized weed, lads.
Your guys legaled weed.
Legal.
Oh my god, they've legaled it. Fucking hell, Adam.
Are we going?
Mate.
We're even going twice now. I heard Bolivia have cocaine calves.
Really?
Someone told me that once.
Bolivia?
Should go check it out.
You can't have cocaine.
I've never done that stuff. Me.
Shouldn't be doing it in a cafe, surely. That implies it's like lunchtime.
Don't touch me. It's illegal,
Yeah,
you
what are you
dickhead.
doing
I
with
am sorry.
sausage?
I take that.
Scoop it back, honestly. And then cough onto it.
Should be doing it.
Yeah,
Still
but
illegal.
We're not.
So we do need a football out there.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Did you used to play this football in school?
Yeah, we talked about that. Right.
Bro, we're getting, we're like an old married
couple.
couple.
Getting me excited. Oh, I love
We're
travelling.
Old married couple.
Uruguay would be mint.
Know each other's stories.
Be mint.
It's half time, by the way.
I want to go and wrestle a cow. Wrangle a cow.
Big difference.
Yeah, big difference. I want to go wrangle a cow. I want to go eat a steak. I want to wear a cowboy hat. I want to watch some fucking outrageous football. You mean Uruguayan football team?
Oh, what about Argentina?
No idea.
I want to do Argentina so fucking bad.
Uruguay national team.
You're a dickhead.
Why?
Penarol Nacional, are they one? With a C?
Yeah, Penarol Nacional. Montevideo.
Yeah, these names are names I heard in the 80s and 90s growing up.
Penarol, yeah.
Yeah, just no idea why. Just that names you hear.
There's a factory in Worksop called Pandrol, and it always makes me think of that.
I'm going to hit you in a minute.
Worksop.
Right. These are the ones I want to go to. These are the places I want to go and check out.
Worksop for
anyway, enough of us waffling utter rhubarb. All right, we're not doing that yet.
I don't laugh when you say Lazelle's, do I, mate?
All right, I guess we're not doing that yet.
You know
Anyway, we'll keep waffling for a minute. Have we got stats?
So respect.
Can we see some stats, please, Cameron? No? All right, it's been doing fuck all for half an hour. Right, I'll carry on with what we're talking about.
Willis with the Worksop Massive.
Argentina.
Go on.
Argentina.
You go watch San Lorenzo. You go watch.
News
you watch
Old
Boca
Boys.
in Europlay, but let's be honest.
News Old Boys.
Independiente.
Estudiantes.
All of these teams.
Marcus Rojo.
Saying Argentinian words.
Let's go see Rojo.
Kelmes.
Not even the Rick.
It's a beer.
Oh, I thought you were saying Rick Elmes.
A beer.
La dickhead.
Right. Should we talk about Man United for a
No,
sec?
I'm talking steaks. I'm getting all excited and mouth-watering. Steaks.
You're not getting
lagers. Football. Fuck me. Why aren't we going already?
Leon Mercer's asked me a question.
Global pandemic.
Valley or Portland? I went to Valley, mate. And when I was a kid, you had Portland or Heartland. You're obviously younger than me.
Is that schools?
Yeah.
Why do you keep moving it that way?
Up the Valley
Secondary
boys.
or primary?
What is it? Play on words. Looking for Edison. Looking for Eddie.
Instead of what?
Cantona.
Looking for Eric.
Yeah.
Looking for Eddie.
Yeah, looking for Eddie.
Yeah.
Looking for Eddie.
Nothing from the wings. We ain't got any wingers, that's why.
We're playing 4-4-2 diamond, you fuck. That's no fucking wingers.
Loads of people having a go at Luke Shaw. What do you think?
Yeah, he's shit.
Yeah, I'm on that train.
Do we know where Tellers is? Is there any news on Tellers?
One sec.
Tell us a story.
Hey Siri, please call the Lowry Hotel.
Yeah, let's send them over there.
Hello everyone, how are we all doing? Welcome to the Halftime Show. I'm here with Casey and we're going to maybe talk a little bit more about Manchester United because I know I've seen a couple of the comments there saying Adam's the only one watching the game and Steve and Joe are just talking utter wibble. And you were absolutely correct. But that's why you love them all. Casey, for as much as people are kind of downplaying it, 1-0 against RB Leipzig after beating PSG in the first game is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because obviously I looked at this game and Leipzig where PSG are a team full of individuals who I'm scared of. Leipzig were a team I'm scared of.
Which is never good.
Because it's never good, because as Steve said in his pre-match, they can change formation there's a word for it.
There's a word you
They
think
can
of.
change formation at a moment's notice to adapt to how the other team are defending. And it seems that we've acted around it. I think a big thing to do with that is how Paul Pogba's played in this game. And we've got some stats, but yeah, Paul Pogba's played brilliantly, but I think, personally. Obviously, he's got the assist for the goal with Greenwood, but I think he's been defensively sound as well, and he's been getting about the pitch. So
yeah, because I think Pogba and Fred have kind of been the wide in that diamond and filled in behind where Martial and Greenwood aren't quite covering back. Because Van der Beek's almost playing, it's not a false nine, he's playing a 10, but it's almost a false 9 kind of system he's playing. And I quite like it, I think it's working so far. Yeah, a couple of stats there. So, Manchester United 4 shots, 2 on target compared to Leipzig 7 shots, only the 1 on target for them. Didn't think it was that many, to be honest.
One of the 2 on target's Fred shot, which is always interesting.
Fred shot?
Yeah.
Joe's walking past me doing some very...
I don't know, it's questionable.
I don't know what's happening there, so I'm just going to leave them to it. And that
Cheers
was
for that.
Adam McKola.
That is a drive-by by McKola.
Anyway, if you could see off screen, let's just not talk about it. Possession-wise, Leipzig controlling the ball. Were you expecting that, or were you expecting United maybe to have a little bit more, and Leipzig trying to soak up pressure a bit more than that?
Well, Leipzig's team's been set up to kind of spread the ball a bit more, and obviously, I feel like we've seen with United more recently when we're playing the bigger teams, we like the counter-attacking style of play. Our passes are more we get it forward as fast as possible, and then we lose the play. So before the game, I probably would have said because of the 4-1-2-1-2 diamond sort of thing, is more passing and possession. But when you see how we've set up and how we're trying to get the ball forward as fast as possible, them having more possession isn't shocking.
See that, and then you've got pass accuracy 81, 85. Oh, Cam, can you make them comments live for me? They've just kind of you've kind of gone up a bit, so they aren't moving at this moment. No clear chances for either team.
A lot of people saying about Wan-Bissaka's contributions, definitely.
Again, really good. I think the importance of Wan-Bissaka in this system, especially where they are attacking down that left hand side and Angelino getting a little more of the ball. Steve mentioned there as well towards the end of that half where they kind of doubled up on Wan-Bissaka, especially with crosses coming in.
Yes.
And that is still the worry in the game. That's kind of how Brighton scored their goals and had their success in the game, even though we won that game. That was kind of people doubling up, Wan-Bissaka getting a bit too narrow, doing all that defensive work.
Well, that's the kind of the downside of letting a team have more possession than you, because the fact is the longer the game goes on now, the more desperate Leipzig will get and the more people they'll probably commit forward, which will help on the counter. But if they're doubling up and they're throwing their wing backs forward, they're attacking forwards, their midfielders forward, they're going to find a gap, and that's when you obviously need De Gea to pull out one of those saves. He has been at some in the last couple of games.
Looking at some of the comments, Ronan saying the pass accuracy would be higher, only for Fred misplacing every pass. I don't think Fred had too bad of a first half. I think he did well. I think Fred's passing overall isn't probably his number one attribute, but he's doing. I think he had an okay first half. A few more comments. Ollie watching the lads on Paddock. I don't think we can see what's happening on TV there. Has Ollie got a screen in front of him? He must do, because a few of them saying that Ollie's watching the. Let's have a look.
Ollie came to Paddock for the tactical analysis.
Of course he has. He was open for Stephen Howson, but he's got me and Casey, so he's probably not going to learn too much off that.
And also Joe talking about game shows.
Yeah, talk about game shows and stakes and Uruguay and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think Ollie's going to get all that kind of stuff.
Fred. People are saying obviously Fred's passing ability and he's lost the ball, but the thing is Fred wins back the ball a lot as well, and in that
he
half,
really does.
He's very good carrying it. He's very good with the energy, because the fact is, you look at that midfield, Pogba has some energy but doesn't get about as much. Matic obviously doesn't have mobility, so Fred being there is very good, and obviously later in the game we might see him swap with McTominay, we might see that sort of thing, but in this system you definitely need someone who puts himself about quite a bit, and he's done very well, and the fact that obviously Leipzig have two of those players in the team, you definitely need someone like Fred. So I think Fred's...
A couple of comments there about Mason's goal. It was a quality goal. I think we all the studio kind of stopped because I think everyone was expecting it to be offside, and I think everyone was just kind of stopped. They kind of didn't want to say it. Everyone kind of thought it's got to be offside. It was it was almost too perfect in the way the pass was bang on. Mason's run was that good. He looked further off than... He looked offside.
The camera angle that they gave did not help, because obviously Adam said it on the Watchalong that it was at an angle, and I think I remember, was it last season? It was like 2 seasons ago when they were first trialling VAR in the cup competitions. We had that Mata goal. They had that Mata goal where it was like it was onside. You could see by the lines on the pitch, but the angle that they went at was like, he's offside. And I'm like, well, that angle's not straight. Yeah. So it was one of those situations, definitely.
Yeah. There's a couple of comments in there about Luke Shaw. Someone said, explain the agenda against Luke Shaw, and then a couple of people saying, there's no agenda against Luke Shaw. He's just not that good. And I kind of agree with that. I don't see enough of him going forward. And he's not like, Wan-Bissaka obviously has his limitations going forward. But you can see, obviously, you can see the defensive work rate, and you kind of go, that's really good.
See, the fact, the Wan-Bissaka is like, he has limitations going forward, but defensively he's never going to be an issue. I think Luke Shaw has improved under Solskjaer. I think the point is that he's improved so at the fact he's a decent player. He's not good. He's never going to be like, I want him to be the starting left back in a top 4 title pushing team. The fact is that if I feel like Luke Shaw has taken up the role of, if I go and tell him to do something at the start of the game, he'll do it the best he can, but that's not always the best. I don't think he's the best going forward. I don't think he'll do absolutely theatrics defensively, but I think he's getting to a point now where if you say, I want you to stay in this sort of area and mark these sort of players, he'll do that. And I think especially in this sort of game where we've been playing, Tellers is obviously, I think he must be injured, because the fact is he's not in the squad, which I would thought he would have just been on the bench, and it seems the whole squad's on the bench.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get something about that. I reckon Ollie should get asked about that full time. If not, journalists aren't doing their job. Again, Jay Hughes is what I was going to ask next, actually, which is, what changes would you make? Would you make any changes going into the second half?
Not going into the second half. I'd like to see changes going later into the match because, as we've said, the Leipzig will start pressing. Leipzig will start throwing more forward. Maybe switch to a back three later on in the game. We could see Tuanzebe come in. Fernandes is always good because his work rate's good, so he's probably going to come in later on. I'd like to see Cavani. I'd like to see Cavani put that defence to the sword in sort of the aerial areas. So it'd be interesting to see if that happens later.
I agree with that. I agree that maybe Cavani comes on. I think the substitutions of Fernandes in midfield will kind of depend on where we're doing in the game. If we score the next goal, I don't expect to see Fernandes or Rashford anywhere near that pitch tonight. No. I think they're going to get the break tonight. A couple more people, a couple of questions about Harry Maguire. What do you think of him? I think he did really well. I think he had a really good first half. It's one of those, it was a bit of a nothing first half. He didn't really have to do too much, and they're the ones that everyone says, they don't mention Harry Maguire after that, even though he's had a very solid first half and done a good job.
Not to obviously jump the gun because we've had the problems in the past, but Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, the last few games that they've played, have been quite good. Victor Lindelof has been coming out playing balls.
Maguire.
Barry Maguire. Harold Maguire. No, but Harold Maguire and Vinny Lindelof were going at.
Yeah.
They've been comfortable on the ball. They've been coming out of the defence and they've been playing balls out and they've been helping relieve the press, which is something that we weren't expecting. We were expecting them to get overrun and their pace not to play part, but they've actually played really well. And in the last few games, and especially this one, you've seen them help the midfield because they've been comfortable with the strikers are coming on us, we'll go round them, go into midfield and then pass it off. And it helps very much, especially playing against a team like Leipzig.
The Dragon said there, we can't play like this against all opposition, no chance. You're right, we can't, and that's why we've got a big squad this year. That's why you've seen Fred McTominay played in some games. I think you'll see towards the end of this season, or maybe even more down the line, you may see Bruno come in for Fred and maybe make this an even more attacking lineup and things like that, and maybe adding McTominay into the mix and all the different things. I think a few questions saying Donny's finding it difficult to get into the game. He's coming too deep. Yeah. I think he's done okay. He's looked sharp when he's had the ball, and I hope there's no stick on Donny van der Beek after that first half. There's been people crying out for him to come in the team, going, "Why is he not in the team? Why is he not in the team? Why is he not in the team?" Let him settle himself into it.
Well, the thing is on the first point you said, there's someone saying we can't play like this all season. In the last 3 games, we've seen 3 different formations. We've seen 3-5-2 against PSG.
Yeah.
We've seen 4-2-3-1 against Chelsea. Yeah. And now we're seeing a 4-1-2-1-2 against Leipzig. Yeah. There's 3 different formations there. That's 3 different styles of play. Yes, it's counter-attacking, but the fact is if a team comes and presses on you and likes having the ball, you've got to do what you can with the ball. Yeah. And the thing is what you're saying there of you see Fernandes coming in, you see Donny van der Beek getting time. As I said before in the pre-match show, Donny van der Beek hasn't played competitive football since March.
Yeah.
Nobody used to complain when other people like Sane, Keita, Fabinho were given time to bed in. And there's a lot of games to come.
There is.
Yeah.
Quick score prediction. What do you reckon What do you reckon the full-time score is going to be?
I'm going to say 2-1 to United.
2-1 United. I'm going to go 2-0. I reckon they're going to keep a clean sheet. Right, that's all from us. Make sure you're staying in the comments. Make sure you are using #PaddockMatchday all the way through. And I'm going to send you back over. Here's Joe Smith, Adam McKola and Stephen Howson. Laters.
Hello. Let's go round the world. I say the world, Europe. For some half-time scores in the Champions League matches. Give us the full times as well, because some of the games started at 6 or something today.
We'll go around the world in 30 seconds.
Go on then.
Let's
Starting
do it.
from
First off, in Istanbul, we go Besiktas 0, PSG 2. Then we go to Krasnodar 0, Chelsea 4, Club Brugge 1, Lazio 1, Dortmund 0, Zenit 0, Ferencváros 0, Dynamo Kiev 2, Juve 0, Barcelona 1, Man United 1, RB Leipzig 0, Sevilla 0, Rennes 0.
Stop the clock.
Around the world in 13 seconds.
Incredible, Adam.
Incredible stuff.
I was too busy counting. Any standout scores there?
Barcelona are beating Juve 1-0. Ronaldo was insistent he didn't have
Definitely
Corona.
got text off Messi.
Do you think?
Messi set up Dembele's
Messi runs
goal.
that fucking club.
And Morata's had 2 goals disallowed for offside.
Shame for a minute.
Well, I'm sure it was correct. VAR's never wrong.
I bet Morata's one of those people who, if you actually looked, I bet you he's got more career goals than you think.
No, he's a very good striker.
He's not a very good striker.
He is.
He's a decent striker.
He's a very good striker.
Would you rather have him or
I would have had him
prime Freddie Canute? Be honest.
Prime Freddie Canute was
Where's
good
he standing?
I know, that's what I'm saying. You said he's good.
Where's Tony Yeboah rack up on your old...
But you can't bring Tony Yeboah into the situation when I'm talking about Alvaro Morata.
Just did.
Do you think football Twitter's going to have a meltdown if United beat Leipzig tonight? Because people kiss a little doll of Nagelsmann before they go to bed. Those footy Twitter likes.
If I had a quid for
probably
how
got
many
10
times,
stats out about him.
If I had a quid for how many times Nagelsmann should be our next coach, I'd have 28 quid.
Yeah, and you know what? That's not loads of money, but that's a lot of opinions, isn't it? Obviously, I think they've looked quite good tonight, Leipzig. But since United scored, we've sort of sat back a little bit. Mm-hmm. It would be a great win, this. But do you think United need to do something different second
Imagine
half?
if Nagelsmann came in at Old Trafford.
Why
and
is
had
there a
best
cover on
record
every
against
single
Chelsea,
seat? United actually are ready for fans coming back in. Maybe not there. That's nothing.
Well, we've heard about that recently, haven't we? Because the club did release a statement about it, which I'm sure we'll speak about later on in the show, about the potential return of fans to Old Trafford. 23,000 could be returning soon, hopefully. The game is about to kick off again as well. We're at Old Trafford. It's 1-0 to Manchester United. Mason Greenwood with the goal. Donny van der Beek gets us underway.
Do you think, Steve, we need to change anything if we want to hold on to this lead second half? Because we were just allowing a little bit of pressure, weren't we, as the half went on?
I'd maybe now flip into a 4-2-3-1. Move Donny left or right. Maybe bring on Cavani and hold it a little bit so you can actually hold the ball up when you go in a little bit more direct. I don't know who you take off from the midfield. That's the $1 million question, I think. Do you pull off Fred? Do you pull off Pogba? Or is it even Donny? I think Donny's a bit more versatile than the other, so you could probably move him into a different position. But I reckon that's the issue. And I think if you now go, let's be a bit more direct and a little bit more compact and composed. Oh my God.
What?
The state of that super chat.
Sam Farrer's at absolute G. It's the most random amount ever. So thank you very much, Sam Farrer, for your super chat. Thank you very much for your support. And he says, just about to finish, Brian Clough, nobody says thank you anymore, and got Angels with Dirty Faces and Barcelona Legacy left to read. Cheers for the recommendation.
I swear to God.
Keep up the good work, pals.
And that's
Have
another
a
Jonathan
few
Wilson
drinks on me.
Thank you very much, Sam Farrer, because that is a fucking hell of a super chat. $48.99, you mentalist. I hope you meant $4.99 and fuck that up.
Cam's wage for the week, that.
Yeah, sorted. And a bonus.
And a boner.
But yeah, so what he's talking about there, I recommended the Brian Clough book by Jonathan Wilson. It is literally the end book on my shelf.
I saw it tonight. Went up there.
Steve doesn't read. The Angels with Dirty Faces one, I believe. Grab it me there. I can see it. It's on that top left shelf, right in the middle. Angels Dirty Faces. Hey, bring it over here, please. That's
my special stash. That. Why are you going into that?
See how I know my books.
Angels with Naughty Faces.
Slide that over, please.
Isn't that what have they been doing to get all that dirt on their faces? They've been
eating ass. You didn't say it, I said it.
I wanted someone to say it.
Anyway, Angels Dirty Faces, all about the history of football in Argentina. I could not recommend this enough. What a book. But do you know what? One of the best books. And I don't really like Barcelona. I'm not certainly like Joe, like one of those people that just wanks off Pep, wanks off Messi. But the Barcelona legacy is fucking unreal because it's not about Barcelona. It's actually the worst titled book you've ever read because there's fuck all really about Barcelona. What that book is about Johan Cruyff and his influence on Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, and then their influences and how that shit spread all over Europe. It's the fucking best book by a country mile. So,
what's
cheers.
it called again?
The Barcelona Legacy.
By
Jonathan Wilson. So Jonathan Wilson, Angels with Dirty Faces, unreal. His Clough book, fucking unreal. His
I think I've got his Clough one.
In fact, George, I went after I had a couple of his books and I was
Walking
like,
on Water, is that
he's unbelievable. Let me just see what else he's got.
Walking on Warnock. This is one about.
Speaking of Warnock, the worst autobiography I've ever read in my fucking life. I've not managed to finish it. I'm about 2/4 of the way through, and I hate Neil Warnock.
Someone suggested that if you do want to purchase that, and we don't get any commission, it's available for $2.99 on Amazon.
That's from Joe's Kindle. Joe's Kindle, which is actually what it's called when I turn it on. He's become sentient. I have released him into the YouTube comments. Thanks, Joe's Kindle. See you tonight. Angels with dirty faces.
So, inverting the pyramid, which is a hefty quoted.
That was the failed sequel to the ancient Egyptians, wasn't it?
Should be not bad.
Trying to do all like that.
So, inverting the pyramid is a little bit of a history of tactics in football. It's very, very good. That's a massive one that he's done. Angels with dirty faces. The Names Heard Long Ago is one about footballers from the 50s and 60s, which I haven't actually read yet. Behind the Curtain, which is one about all the Soviet thing. The Barcelona legacy, which is fantastic. Nobody Ever Says Thank You, Brian Clough. The Outsider, A History of the Goalkeeper.
Ross mentions Wenger's book. Have you read that? I
No.
want to get that, actually.
The Anatomy of Manchester United. I haven't read that one, but
Sorry,
that's A History of United in 10 matches. I'm sure it's amazing. I said Angels with Dirty Faces, Barcelona Legacy. The Names Heard Long Ago, and there's another book. Shut me dick.
Listing books.
There is another book that he's done. I can't remember
what he's doing.
This is all because
It's not great viewing, bruv.
he is the best football author out there.
Great viewing. I mean, when I was in school, I read out Twix and Hungry Caterpillar and Spot the Dog.
Adam doesn't read.
He's read 3 books.
James and the
that's
Giant
them.
Peach.
You watched that? You watched that video? You didn't read it? You liar! You read Hungry Caterpillar, which was actually a caterpillar cake that you didn't even read. You ate it. You've read 2 books. Twix is good though.
I didn't say 2 quarters. I said 3/4 of the way. 2 quarters of the way through.
2 quarters.
Oh,
go on, Tony.
There you go.
Oh,
he's
he
in.
took it wide
Tony,
there.
knock it back. Good defending.
Touch there. He took it too
Is
far.
that handball?
There's somewhere.
Is that handball? Donny van der Beek was saying it. Canati might have handballed it.
Mason
Step over central. He's shot. He's saved. And it's cleared.
Shots are always so clean.
And he's shot.
If
It was
it's
Fred.
Fred shouldn't be allowed.
That's a corner. I think that's a corner.
Let's check that.
Let's check that one.
Martial
please.
thinking about the goal too
took
much.
a poor touch
He's
there.
thinking about the goal too much.
What happens here? Is this a handball?
He needs to
Slides down.
Wait, no, watch.
Ball comes back. Off his arm twice.
Right.
It's his
Do
arm
you know what?
twice.
I said again. Yeah, that's 2 on balls,
You know
brother.
when the man do that
1.
skill where they slap
Yeah.
their foot?
2.
The way it's a handball for anything now, that's handball. It's handball. It's not, but that's the rules nowadays. It's bullshit. Can we go to VAR, please?
JU with the super chat says thanks for the content, lads.
Can you-
Special
they're not doing
appreciation to Adam for
Why aren't they
sticking
doing
up
it?
for us on the True
Why are you
Geordie
doing
podcast.
it? Why are you doing it?
Oh,
You motherfuckers.
sorry, man.
Why are you doing it?
This
It's
is what-
fucking handball, brother. Oh, fuck off, Luke.
That's what Yoda said.
Whip
first time I
that.
saw him.
Whip it real hard.
Go on, Luke. Into the box. Marshall.
Literally 5 of you missed it. Well done.
Yeah, they were all shocked that he fucking crossed the ball. That's why.
Fuck's sake. Mark Brim says Howson definitely listened to the audiobooks and claims he read the real book. Steve, is that true?
50-50.
Labalo says,
If I've got the book,
I've missed
the
it.
book.
I've missed it.
But I've got a lot of them on audio.
They're trying to bully Steve here, but I'm taking notes, so someone did appreciate it, Steve.
Yeah.
But I was just well aware that people are...
Hang on. Why are we besmirching audiobooks anyway? Like there's a difference.
It's just a bit of... it's one of those things, isn't it? People like to take some sort of moral or intellectual high ground from
It's
reading.
information.
No, but I see people that seem to think people reading is them taking a moral high ground are just dickheads.
Well, what about then? Here's a question for
Oh,
you.
no, you're reading. Are you trying to be cleverer than me? No, I'm just reading, you dickhead.
Yeah. If I've got the book, I read it. But I've got, I think it's about fucking 100 titles.
But
on
here's a
my
question for you
audio.
then. If you just read the lyrics to a song, did you hear it?
What?
It's the opposite of what you do. Do you know what I mean? If you read the lyrics to a song, do you think you've took it on in the same way as hearing it?
If you've read the book, have you seen the film?
It's not the same thing.
Well, it is the same thing.
No, it's not.
It is.
Howson Hootle over here does
We're
lose
not playing-
does lose 8-0 occasionally.
We're
or
not
9-0.
Not once. We're not playing.
But twice.
We're not playing for. Oh, it hasn't. Not me though. We're not playing 4-3-3, brother.
Aidan said that's 3 great crosses Shaw has put in so far, seeing as we won't put any respect
He's very
on
much the
Shaw's
boy
name.
who cried wolf concept with Luke Shaw and crosses, though, isn't it?
What,
Because
the
for
boy
so
who
long
cried
he
shit?
didn't cross it. Now no one thinks he will when he actually does.
Yeah.
So unfortunately,
I think we've shown RB Leipzig too much respect.
People
in
take
this
him more
game.
when they read. Not necessarily.
no different people learn different ways.
Yeah, I mean, dyslexic people are going to struggle reading, but they'd happily fucking sit and listen to one, probably. I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know. But I'm assuming, like, people are...
you do know.
No, it's a foul on
I'm
Tony,
joking.
you muppets.
That turns out you're dyslexic, but you're not. The new rule say if your grounding arm makes contact with the ball, then it's not handball.
Well, if you do it on purpose,
Yeah,
What-
exactly.
But what about the one when he stood up then?
and then slapped it.
Marcus Rashford is the greatest leader of the Labour Party that they've ever had.
Steve, Marcus runs the country.
It's great, isn't it?
Well, Jezza was too.
Jezza?
Fox Kia, whatever his name is.
Ikea?
Yeah, he's a pussy old fed.
Steve Bruce does an audio book of Lady Chatterley's. That sounds like an absolute lie.
I love Steve.
Do you know one of the best autobiographies or books that I've read or listened to, I guess you can say?
Oh, what a pass. That was short, that. Come
David
on.
Goggins. So David Goggins hired a guy to read his book, and then he interrupts him and makes it like a podcast at times to like elaborate on points, and then lets the guy carry on. It's fucking mint. It's better than an audiobook.
I don't even know who you said.
Definitely interesting take on it.
Mike Tyson's is the best autobiography I've ever read.
Oh, yeah, Mike Tyson, you want to give the guy a hug
Because you feel like footballers chat shit.
Maybe not, though.
With Mike, I would.
Mike Tyson, number one.
I won't risk it.
Paul McGrath, number two. Have you not read Paul McGrath's autobiography? You need to go home and read it right now because it's unbelievable. The guy talks about drinking bleach.
What if you haven't got it at home, Steve?
Yeah, it's not at home.
Oh, it's over there.
Talks about drinking bleach. We can all talk about drinking bleach, Steve. Give some hydrogen peroxide.
Right aside there, is that it?
Alright, fuck this book chat.
Yeah, books is for nerds. Ever heard of it, mate?
Books are for idiots.
Yeah, books are for nerds, mate.
Is that best? That blessed? Alright, okay.
Books is just films for people with glasses.
Prodigy from
Isn't that
Mobb
right,
Deep,
Adam?
someone says. Interesting story. I was once on stage with Mobb Deep. Both of them, Havoc and Prodigy. On stage at Liverpool O2, sat behind them. If you go to the archives on my Instagram, you will see a video of them doing their classics with me in the background. Got a picture with them as well. R.I.P. Prodigy.
Take it home now and fucking read it.
Shout out Hollywood Have.
Honestly, you go, do you know what? I didn't really watch Paul McGrath playing. It was a bit outside my era. The best football autobiography ever.
Is it?
Ever.
Also, he gave us a wave in the sea.
Did they?
So we did a show. You might not know about this.
I do know about
United Unzipped. You remember that? And early on, we used to do give us a wave, just tweet people, ex-United players, harass them for a wave, and current. And he was one of the first ones we did it to. But he not only just, like, Phil Neville did a picture of
people
him
just
like
people just put the wave emoji.
Or wave emoji. He got in the sea, so waves, and waved, and took a picture and sent it to us.
Sorry, Leipzig nearly scored there. Do you think he was just already in the sea, though?
Wave after wave.
Not sure.
He must live near the ocean. He didn't drive to, like, Cleethorpes or something just for that.
Might have done that. Let's pretend he did. But yeah, best football autobiography ever.
Okay, I'll give it a read. Thank you. I've read...
And Mike Tyson's.
It's apt that I stuttered there because I did read Wayne
John
Rooney's
Gallagher says
autobiography.
on the audiobook book chat, I'm dyslexic and I take in information just as well from a book or audio book. It takes me ages to read a book, so I preferred audio books.
There you go.
Same.
Also,
takes the
I do a lot of
information in
driving,
easy.
and that's why.
And he reads while he drives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on then. We're struggling to sort of push out, aren't we, at the moment?
We've shown them way too much respect, to be honest.
Well, is it that, or are they just good?
No, we've shown them too much respect.
Yeah, no, I think they're
What's
just
the
good.
difference, though?
Both.
How can you tell when it's that you've either shown someone too much respect or they're just good? What's the difference? How can you tell the difference there?
Well, it's a mixture of both, isn't it? Because they've had a lot of ball, but I also think it's the way we're setting up to them. Like, if you look at it, in the first half, I know Steve kind of suggested we played the diamond, but a lot of the time Martial was on the left, Greenwood was through the middle. It was kind of like we played the 4-2-3-1. If you look at Pogba now, he's very deep. Van der Beek, I just feel like we're kind of just inviting them onto us. And now maybe Ollie's happy with a 1-0 win, and I'd take it, but we scored very early, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we did. Like the video.
Like the video, and I'll give you another book recommendation.
Oh my God. And like the video, and he won't. There's our incentive there. Yeah, let's get us over 1,500 likes.
Play, Donny.
United are on the break here. Van der Beek keeps the ball. Marshall squares up Kanate and gets tackled.
Finger down there, man.
I think he tried to use the run as a dummy, didn't he? Ball into Van der Beek. He's got a silkiness about him. He almost has a Juan Mata-ish feel to him, Van der Beek.
But quicker.
Yeah. Are you going to write an autobiography, Steve?
No.
Why not?
Yours would actually be mad, though.
It'd be interesting. There'd be loads of
Army
weird shit going on in there.
We need a cool ending, though.
We'll kill him.
No, that's too easy. He needs to run for office. Why don't you become a minister?
Because I'm not a twat.
I don't mean a promise.
I couldn't be one of them fellas. You see how much shit they chat? You'd end up just saying, "Go shut the fuck up, you pussy holes." In the House of Commons.
Fight me.
Yeah, straight up, because they're all rats.
That don't happen
call it
enough,
the House of
and
Commons
they all
when
take
you
the
got there,
moral
wouldn't
high ground, but they're all scumbags.
Yep.
Like, you're a scumbag, bro.
It's all just pomp
Absolute scumbaggery.
and fakeness, isn't
But
it?
because you went to some tough school, you're better than me. Suck my dick.
There was a geezer that got in touch.
From the
Shout
back.
out if you're watching. Who
Angels
said
with dirty faces, indeed.
he asked me if I'd like to do a book about like what we've done
Play
with
Martial.
Paddock FC the first 12 months of building a football club. And I said, well, we're going to have something actually happen in that 12 months.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Because otherwise it's just really normal.
Just footy. Marcus Rashford's coming on. He's being shown this hand motion by Kieran McKenna.
Kieran McKenna's telling him what happens when you go down a water slide.
Yeah, diving from above like a hawk, Marcus. Like that.
Do you take
Top
off one
down.
of the midfielders?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to take off Marshall or Greenwood. You would assume it would either be Pogba or Donny. Pogba was down looking. Pogba, he's not scored one of them absolute belters for United yet, has he? Do you know the ones he scored like half a dozen of them for Juventus? Where
because they're all.
Nah, he did at
balls,
Swansea.
like, swerving around.
Swansea. Yeah. I was behind one at Swansea and it was beautiful.
Scott McSauce coming on as well as Marcus Rashford, Dr. Sir Marcus MBE.
Yeah, he's in
Just
NBA,
bought 3 new books. Go on, lad.
People love books.
Tory Howson. What?
Yeah, no, you'd be running as an independent, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably, yeah, because everyone's a fucking knob.
RB Howson.
I do know a young lady that ran for Green Party, Rosie Sexton. She's got 2 PhDs.
Too many.
I got 1 PhD.
One in science, one in maths, or computer
Pretty
science
huge.
and maths or something like that. I think she's got them in.
Like
She's an osteopath.
Does that mean she speak to dead people and that?
No, she works with bones.
I mean, she's mental.
Whatever.
And she was
We're just
Britain's,
pretending to be thick.
Britain's first female UFC fighter. She was also #1 rank in the world at one point as well. She's an absolute fucking G, and I think she ran for the Green Party. Somewhere near your ends, I think.
Interesting.
Solihull or something.
Marcel Sabitzer, warming up. About to come on, it looks like, for RB Leipzig.
What do you think about Red Bull owning football clubs?
It's no different to Bayer owning football clubs.
Well,
What do you think to Bayer owning football clubs?
Is it any more more egregious than City owning like a club on every continent?
big pharma, isn't it, Bayer? I took a pill that was had by
or Wolfsburg, which is basically Volkswagen.
Or
Yeah.
PSV, which is basically Philips.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it is literally Philips, I think, PSV.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
That's what the P stands
And
for.
it's Philips something or other.
Some Vother. Go on, Tony. In the box. Lays on Van der Beek.
We're never getting
Van der
a penalty
Beek's
tonight.
got to score that.
You need to see it again. It looked like he could have done. Martial's done a few good bits.
He plays better like that. You know where? Because at the moment he's thinking about scoring.
Alstenberg.
You know when you don't think about scoring, play your game, bro. The chances are going to come. You can tell. I hate when strikers start thinking about scoring because they haven't had a goal
Pogba's
for a
face
while.
when he sees McTominay getting rid of it. Come on.
Oh, that was my face.
Was it rough?
I was saying to you earlier, when I was asking you when we were doing the team news, do you think Van der Beek will try too hard? You sort of alluding there. Maybe it's actually Martial who's sort of trying a bit too hard.
No, I think all strikers do that.
Someone's just left
All
his chat
strikers,
and
yeah.
retracted it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Cheers.
I think all strikers do that. So I don't think it's necessarily a criticism of him personally, but strikers, when they're looking for a goal, you can really tell they're snatching at things or they're overthinking things. Like when he went through there,
Matic for Rashford.
he could no. Well, that's obviously for
Yeah, he's probably Matic and Greenwood. It's pretty much a straight swap.
Go on, what were you saying, Adam? Before you were so rudely interrupted.
I don't know what I was talking about now.
Unbelievable.
Heinrich for Sabitzer. So Heinrich is a defender, mostly a defender.
When Marshall was running through,
They've changed
with the ball
formation.
in his left foot.
They call it the Heinrich manoeuvre. Carry on.
No,
Instead of going for goal,
I'm gonna hit you.
he got caught in two minds, overthinking,
Yeah.
not playing naturally. It doesn't help though when you get yourself suspended and you miss a game every other game.
Casey's eyeballing us and asking us, what's
Casey can
United's
kiss my
best
arse.
midfield? I'd say the one with Keane and Scholes in.
Of the current players, what would you say?
I reckon Keane and Scholes would have a good go at him.
Even at this age?
Yeah, I mean, Scholes is older now, but he never relied on pace, really. So
I'd say Matic, Pogba and Bruno still.
Do you think? No space for...
McTominay is not good enough for that
Fred.
holding role yet. He's a good worker and he'll work hard
Have
and
we
he'll
gone
buzz
to a
around
two?
and he'll win the ball for you, but
I think we've gone to a 2, you know.
We have Fred
Pogba
and
looks like
McTominay.
he's on the left.
in the thinking he's not
Is that Marcus on Pondirai?
Position.
Football IQ is a term that doesn't get used as often as it does in other sports. Like when you watch basketball, people talk about basketball IQ all the time.
You watch a lot of basketball,
about fight IQ. Yeah, they talk about fight IQ all the time. But football IQ, I think, is something that obviously it's almost an untangible or intangible. But do you think someone like McTominay, that's what he's lacking? That kind of
sometimes you'll see him, bro, just standing behind a midfielder position, and you're thinking, bro, what are you doing there? Like, move 5 yards and you're in space, or even just dropping in between centre halves. Sometimes, everyone's played football, and you'll have someone when you bomb forward, they'll go, "I got you covered." Yeah, and you think, "I love you." You know what I mean? Like, and those are the players that just read things, and I don't think he reads things like that. No. Again, we were talking about Cavani and Martial and Rashford.
Ander Herrera had next level football intelligence. He knew when to be a shithouse. He knew when to
David
be injured. He knew when to play the right balls. He knew when to man mark someone. We call it shithousery, but that Sergio Ramos.
Oh yeah.
Oh mate, he is the poster boy for football IQ.
Yeah.
Decision making's one thing, but being cute, being a shithouse, the dark arts.
Yeah.
We got no one who has a fucking pot of glue about them at the minute.
No, I think Bruno's got a bit of that to him. He seems to have a bit more.
Sam Farah's back.
A bit sneaky, a bit.
How much for a friendship? Do you mean for us to be your friends? We'll just be your friend. We ain't got none, so we're looking for some. Yeah. And another book recommendation.
Should we give you another book recommendation?
I'll give you books. I'll give you political books.
Clive Woodward's autobiography is pretty good.
But he's a Tory, isn't he?
He is a Tory, but he's rugby union, so of course he's a Tory. But he was also director of football at Southampton, I believe, for a little bit.
Was he?
Here you go. Richie Allen says, that was me, first time I've done it. Anyway, either of you read or know the Secret Footballers book or articles? I know who the Secret Footballer is. Do you use that?
Yeah, it's the ginger guy,
Dave Kitson.
Dave Kitson.
Kitson. From Reading. Yeah.
He's a bellend.
Proper.
When you know who it is as well, and then you read it, because I read one
He
of
gave
them.
himself away in loads of them.
Yeah, I read one of them, and I thought it was really interesting, because I thought it was someone good. And then I knew it was him, and then I read there's an away days one or something like that, which is like when they go on holiday to Ibiza and stuff. And I just think, you're a fucking knob, mate. When you know it's him, and you read them, you just have to, you got like a curled up face going on. Ugh. Some of the shit he comes out with, you're like,
He's come up with some shit stuff in the past.
Like he was like, now I'm at Reading. My wife needs to dress sexier. What?
Oh really? And also, no offense, but do you know when someone's a bit ugly and you think you probably haven't got an ego because you're a bit ugly, and then you realise actually no, it's just an awful ego dickhead anyway.
Because
like
when they had nothing, they couldn't get girl because they were ugly.
Exactly.
So now they've got money. And they know that will attract girls. They're at the worst with it. Someone says political book recommendation. Freedom is a Constant Struggle by Angela Davis. You got Tribes by Akala. Got loads.
Animal Farm, George Orwell.
Is that
I've never read
that fruity film?
Don't think so. That might be something you watched with animals in it. Van der Beek done all right tonight.
Cheers, Jeff.
Cheers, Jeff. Cheers,
Ross, that is.
Bruno's coming on.
Van der Beek is coming off for
Bruno thought he was going to get a good night off.
I know, he can't.
We need you.
Although we're still 1-0 up, let's be honest. Let's not forget that.
I think Donny's had a 6 out of 10 performance, but I think he's done well.
He has done well, and also the fact of him coming off, it's no surprise. We were saying before, you mentioned it before, Adam. He's played about 6 games since March. Like, I don't think he's ready for 90 minutes against such a hard-pressing team like RB Leipzig. So, no surprise he's come off. I think he's played well. We've got a super chat from Ash J. You read this one, Adam. It's your bag.
Cheers to hating Tories, says Ash J. You know what I find funny? I was going to apologise for it, but I don't really care.
Right.
Like, imagine you're a Tory now.
I know.
Just a hostile environment.
But you know what,
I suppose you know how your government have made it feel for everybody else.
Manchester United is a socialist football club.
It is.
Matt Busby was a dyed-in-the-wool socialist. Sir Alex Ferguson was a dyed-in-the-wool socialist. Manchester United is a left-wing, quite Labour-supporting, if anything, socialist football club. Always has been. I hope it always is.
A socialist is like a criticism. And I just think...
Weren't you furloughed?
It's like when everyone starts...
Socialism works.
Everyone starts talking about You know how the Premier League should pay for smaller clubs and all
socialism.
that stuff. And I'm like, ain't that socialism that everyone voted against?
And America hates socialism/communism, but the NFL, NBA, baseball fucking thing, NHL.
That is
all
a
that
free
shit.
kick if I've ever seen
They're
one.
the most socialist communist leagues
MLB.
ever. They share fucking academy players.
And also,
I've realised people don't know what the
were a bit-
definitions of those words
Yeah, and they're also a little bit more socialist when the banks needed bailing out, weren't they? Across the world.
Morata scored a hat trick of this allowed.
That's do you know when they say a perfect hat trick? That is an imperfect hat trick right there, isn't it?
But that is a perfect hat trick for Morata.
Yeah, that's as good as it's going to get.
Get your ass on side, dickhead.
Right, we've got a free kick. Who's going to take it? There's about 8 people lining up.
I want to see Fred
We've got
take
Bruno,
it.
we've
just
got
for banter.
Fred. We've
On
got
FIFA, yeah, that's what's fucked.
B-Tech
Someone,
check.
Jay Spence says it. Man United is a socialist football club now owned by venture capitalists. That's the problem.
yeah.
History's
You'll
gone.
never take our fucking soul, though, mate. You might buy the bricks, but you'll never take the fucking soul of the people.
Love
And
We
if
are
you
the
do,
people!
I'll fucking murder you in your sleep.
Free kick to Manchester United. Fred stood over it like he's got a chance of taking it, which is quite
But like,
cute.
Freddie, you having a
And
shot?
if he does take it,
Fuck
Freddie-
off.
goes
Fred
in,
used to score a
I will
lot.
be so happy to eat my
What
words.
the
Chip
fuck?
over Marshall! Oh,
They
my
tried it
God.
again.
That was so close to being
Dirty.
incredible. That
You
would
know,
have
if
been
Martial
incredible.
went with his foot early in
He
the
could
air
have waited and
waited
just
for it to
kicked
come
it.
down,
Yeah. If
But
he'd
how
have
much of his foot being in the air
Stop
stopped the
the-
keeper coming out?
Yeah.
I could finish
That's
it.
it.
up with this
Almost.
sentence.
We see
You
that.
can't touch each other, it's illegal.
Oh, shit.
Almost like wait to get fouled, even.
Yeah.
Take the pen.
But I think if he, like you said, if he'd have just run in, the
What
goal,
the fuck was
goal
that
actually
from
would have come
Pogba?
out. I think
Look, he had
he
a
wanted,
fucking spasm.
he wanted to look like he was being
Pogba's
fouled.
done well today as well.
Yeah, he's
Funny
been
that.
alright.
You play your best player, we play as well.
Oh, shut up. Like he was good against Palace.
Anyone was
Brighton.
good against Palace.
What?
What flavour
anyone
pizza
was
you
good.
have?
They were great against Palace. No, you're right.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? This is what I mean. This is what annoys me.
Oh,
McTominay can stink the place out. No one says nothing when he starts every game.
But you don't start.
But if it's Pogba or Marshall, it's fucking who
But
have
the
been
thing
our
is,
best
though,
players. at the
who
time.
moans about Marshall starting?
Also-
Find me that person because he doesn't exist.
Yeah, Marshall hasn't been dropped. He got suspended for being an idiot. I love it when you fight battles that don't exist. Bruno in, Pogba near post ball.
Ask
up in there.
Venezuela how good socialism.
Rashford.
No.
That's because as soon as a country has socialism, the Americans will think, how can we go and fuck that up so our country don't want it? Trust me, bruv.
Communism's funny because they go, everyone should be the same. And then they build a leader of fucking 300-foot statue.
Yeah, that's weird.
What?
But yeah, football-wise, 71 minutes in.
I'd love to go to...
Pogba's
Do you reckon
won
I'd
the
make it
ball
out
high
alive
up the
if I went to
field
North
again.
Korea?
Go
He
on,
wouldn't make it
Tony.
in alive.
Go on, Toto!
Keep the ball. Oh, I didn't know he was there, but he kept it. Back to Pogba.
Thinking too much, see what I told you?
Fred.
Every time.
You got the fucking shoot.
Bruno. Oh, he's gone
oh,
too
he
far with
tried
that.
Wouldn't it be fucking mint to go and watch a football game in North Korea? Do you know they've got the biggest stadium in the world? 248,000
That's what you
people.
think.
Pyongyang.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That might be a painting.
Yeah, it's a miniature. It's like that big, with the camera zoomed right into it. Yeah, exactly.
You've been like that for?
Steve's Wish Lego set. Build your own 240,000 seater stadium.
Imagine the noise in that. 4 Old Traffords on top of each other.
I know.
How was the shape of it, though?
It's you're fucking miles away. Like Wembley, you're like,
Was it high
I'm
or
on
was
the
it
byline, both. I'm on the byline and I can't fucking see shit. It's like that, but like bigger. I'll find out the name of the stadium. 1 second.
I love the political
Everyone's
chat in
talking
the comments.
politics in the comments.
I'm
We'll leave
ready-
you guys to it now.
I'm ready for some socialism
what
in
are
the
they
US.
kind of just took
You're
that
not
one.
going to get socialism in the US anytime soon. The fact that it seems people call you
Nah,
a
they're all belling.
people
Hang on.
call you a
Do you all get
communist
the
for
stimulus
wanting,
check? That's socialism.
yeah, but you know what I mean. People call you communist for
who's
wanting
that?
nationalised healthcare in America, which
That was a good pass.
the rest of the world has got. So, Shaw into the box. Bruno swinging from there.
How much is Tony worth?
Oh, it's a good question.
He's worth more than we paid for him.
Do you think 70?
Well, I'd say 100 mil.
No.
Anthony Martial.
It depends on the circumstances at which he leaves. That's the top and
Yeah,
bottom.
that's
I
a
don't think
big
it's
point
worth
as
that.
well.
If he's dropped and we want to get rid of him, 50. If Real Madrid come in for him after he scored 35, 100, 120.
Yeah, that's exactly true.
Yeah, but
That's
the-
what he just said is bang on.
yeah, of course it's bang on. But we need to
It's not
talk about-
248,000. I'm sure it used to be, but it's called the
He's a £100
Rung
million player.
Grado 1st of May Stadium.
Ousmane Dembele. These men. Harry Maguire was £80 million, bro. Don't talk shit to me. Remember that?
What?
Harold Maguire.
Yeah.
80 million.
Oh, go on, Rashford. Oh, he's off. See that pass from Bruno there? Finish it anyway. Right, that's good. You finish that. He thinks he's onside there because the flag went up ages ago. Did they blow the whistle?
No, but not Martial. I've never seen the flag either because he went to go square for the pass.
On there.
Don't
should be interesting. Yeah, no, they won't because he blew the whistle, so it don't matter.
So the photos of it look like they're from 1974.
He's in his own half, you dickhead! He's in his own half! You absolute... No, it don't matter. They blew the whistle, Steve.
Oh, fucking die in a fire, you absolute wankers. Wankers. You fucking dicks.
He didn't blow the whistle.
He's not blown it.
We can't even hear the TV. How are you hearing whistles?
Because I heard
Are you all right?
I heard a whistle. That's a goal then,
That's
isn't
onside.
it? That's
but
a goal.
last one was...
He's in his own half. How can he be offside?
No, he's not, is he? Referee's going, you fucked up,
Oh,
mate.
it's a goal check, so it'll count, right?
It better count.
They haven't changed.
Unless, like, there's a smidgen of his boot over.
Well, I didn't even look if there was a defender the other side because he was in his own half.
No, I mean,
maybe his shoulder was
on half.
offside.
I mean, what if a smidgen of it?
He's over the line.
If he's over the line, it's fucked.
Does it count? If his chest is over the line, is he offside?
No, he's in his own half. It's held 190,000 people.
That's too many people.
That's a goal, bro.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if it is.
You got to give it, or I'm going to flip this fucking table.
Well, don't, because there's water on it.
His eyes are the same colour as his shirt. You see that?
Gorgeous.
Ref's got a bit dreamy eyes.
Looks like he's been hit with a spade, though, doesn't it?
He does, yeah.
A spade of...
He has got that sort of thing going on, like he's been hit with a shovel.
God blessed him and then smacked him.
Like a bit stunned.
Come on, ref. This will be good because this should do it.
Yeah, there we go. Goal.
Get it! Come on! 2-0.
Look at that fucking grin.
Rashford knew it as well. He knew he was onside.
Fucking hell. Feeding kids.
2-0.
Fucking scoring goals.
People were saying that Rashford wasn't good this season, by the way. People on Twitter saying how shit he is.
All right, you got a Twitter for your
I hate
opinions.
Twitter. I love it, though. I do love
How
it.
about fucking stay off it? What a fucking run, son. Go on, lad.
Lovely finish.
Go on, lad.
You can get your t-shirt
Go on, lad.
from Stretford, Paddock.
What a
T-shirt.
What a fucking finish that
That's
is.
a great t-shirt.
By the way,
That's
what
such
a
a good
fucking
t-shirt.
finish. Dr.
Whose idea
Marcus Rashford, MBE.
That pass from Bruno was incredible. As Roberto says for £2, Bruno could find a needle in a haystack or a Rashford
Yes,
in
Paul
a...
Bill Pogba.
Ooh,
Rashford in an opposition.
that was a heavy...
Chucking your weight around.
I'll tell you what,
In his
2-0
own
at
half.
home to RB Leipzig is a fucking right result. I can't wait for the backpedaling that's going to commence.
Steve, Nagelsmann is the greatest tactician the world has ever seen, and Solskjaer's a PE teacher who's just all vibes, no tactics. How do you explain this?
I was worried
did
about
Arsenal got vibes Carteta over there.
How do you explain this? That we've beaten PSG and RB Leipzig in 8 days?
Slapped up your favourite manager,
Jay in the
you
comment says,
bitches.
was it United versus Liverpool at the big house in Michigan? It's 110,000 people.
That's incredible.
Didn't we have more than that at the Real Madrid game, or did I imagine that?
No, that was when Real Madrid edited the pictures.
Yeah, Real
Balling
Madrid
from
edited it
Luke
to
Shaw.
make it look like it were white, not red.
I think the biggest stadium I went to is the Levi's Stadium.
80-odd, 83?
Is that bigger than
83?
Wembley?
Is that in Chicago?
No, Wembley's 90, innit?
I swear that's bigger than Wembley. It felt like there was 100,000 in there.
I think Wembley's over 85 now, isn't it? It's like 90 or something.
It's a fucking echo in here.
I'm a bit scared that we might still not win this because I said...
Oh,
Go on, Marcus! Go on, Marcus!
Go on, you slag! Yes! Fucking
Get in,
have that! I'm going on.
Go on!
I'm fucking going on.
That's more like
Mate,
it.
He needs to get a hat trick.
He's
Have we
so
just
good.
fucking
He's so
absolutely...
good.
What was we saying? Thank you.
He needs to get a hat
Shut
trick.
the fuck up. Oh
He's
my
so
God.
good.
Bro, the capacity of that's 70,000?
Yeah,
Well,
get out.
The Levi's Stadium? I thought that
Vibes,
was huge.
Carteta.
Americans have got a bigger BMI.
Brilliant. Look at that.
Yeah.
Unlucky Sabitzer, dispossessed by Fred.
See ya.
Fred, the ultimate press
He's
machine.
twatted that and
He's
all,
hit
hasn't
it
he?
so
He's
hard.
hit that.
He's hit it so hard he fell over.
Mate, he's murdered
Little bit
him.
of luck there.
Hayton.
Boom.
Mate, he fucking done some Street Fighter shit. when
Taking
he hit that
some
then. Watch
value
this.
off Dale
Hadouken!
Upamecano.
Hayton!
Oh, it's funny that. It's big funny, Steve. United 3-0 up at home to RB, who gives a shit. I know that, obviously, Nagelsmann's the best manager in the world. RB Leipzig are the best team in the world.
I'll tell you what, you turn up, you wear a shit jacket, you get fucking tated, you fuck off home. Fucking
Shout out, it's Snowman786 with the super chat. Vibes Carteta. Underrated comment from Adam. Don't worry. I knew someone would hear it.
Do you think...
I got my tea from Stretford Paddock, bigcartel.com. We'll put the links out later.
Link in the description. Cameron?
Do you find it difficult to respect Leipzig just because they're a small team that's a very new team?
Do you know? Can I answer that?
Absolutely not.
Because we went to Germany earlier this year for the Mercedes-Benz thing, Junior Cup.
Oh,
and,
Lord.
remember that advert? That
What an advert that was!
Is that,
everyone used to sing that at school.
Is that Dolly Parton?
My love trying to find
Or is it Joni Mitchell?
No, it was a different...
My friends all drive Porsches because I'm a Tory motherfucker. that was a word.
But in Germany anyway, everyone fucking hates them. And we went there and they were one of the teams there. And like nobody was like the German people in the crowd were cheering any German team apart from Leipzig.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course.
And then they had fans from everything like the organisers did that were putting up.
Can I put
and the
forward
2 girls that were doing RB Leipzig fan TV, like they were telling us how just like nobody rated them or what they did or anything.
Can I put something forward in defence of Leipzig? Lokomotiv Leipzig were the first Bundesliga winners. That team was fucking collapsed for some reason. I don't know what happened. Leipzig's an enormous city in eastern Germany. It didn't have a professional football team. Now, the way RB Leipzig, Red Bull, Russian Sport Leipzig went about it in terms of acquiring the license, putting a load of money into a team to see them rise through the leagues, I can understand the jealousy surrounding that. But you can't deny the right of a city to have its own football team.
But when you say jealousy, is it not less jealousy and more the fact that they've literally bent the rules to be the thing that German football was designed against?
Juiced up teams, isn't it?
Rather than
not really. No, it's
a
not.
team owned by a business.
Basically, it's the fifth
juiced up.
No, it's not juiced up. Really,
it is though.
Not really.
Because you got a head start. Nothing's natural about it. Nothing of it's organic. It's
like
all a money making thing. It's not.
Yeah,
let's become a football club.
Like Bayer Leverkusen, like.
Yeah, that's fair. That's if you want to.
But they started as workers' clubs for those people who worked in those factories.
Yeah, they did. And why is that more authentic? I mean, we literally had this argument with. There was a guy that was criticising Stretford Paddock starting and was saying it's a works team.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka
started as a works team. It did. We played 5-side at the pits.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka is off for Axel Tuanzebe.
Nice.
And Cavani's coming on. I would say Martial, but I guess they're going to leave Martial to try and get a goal. Pogba's coming off for Cavani.
They did bend the rules. It's 80 plus 1.
50, 49.
50 plus 1.
Yeah.
So that's 50% of the shares plus 1 to give it a majority have to be owned by fans. Now I think I'm probably going to fuck this up, but and it's in a roundabout way accurate. They appointed 8 people to the board who were fans who also work for Red Bull. So
what are they fans of money?
And their memberships were like
they're big fans of Red Bull. We love it.
Their buy-in was like, I don't know, a couple of million to be their members, and they don't advertise their members publicly the way every other club does, all the rest of that sort of stuff. So the link is in the description if you want to buy the t-shirt Adam's wearing or I'm wearing.
Or any other ones.
Yeah, there's some others on there as well. Go check them out, see what we've got.
We're going to have a few more, but that one especially is wicked.
But yeah, so they bent the rules a little bit, but if you don't have a fucking solid fucking loophole, then people are going to exploit that. And ultimately, there is a rule against corporations owning clubs, but there was like, only new clubs, and they left Leverkusen and Wolfsburg alone. So it's a little bit of newism, I thought. And I thought you wasn't really being fair. You clearly just don't like these. And to be fair, they're not as egregious, I don't think, as the oil clubs.
Oh no. Well, they're not as. I don't know what.
And they're also doing it in the right way. They buy young. They find.
They buy to sell a lot as well.
Yeah, and they find players in markets that haven't been fucking tapped really. They're going to Ghana and like they've got Brazil and they're pulling players out and doing all this, that, and the other. And at the end of the day, they're a city that needed a club.
How different is it, I guess, to Peter Lim and Gary Neville and that taking over Salford?
It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same.
And they like to make you think, little Gary and Phil from down the road have taken over a club, but they're backed by a big don.
They was paying like 80 grand a year when they was at like Drolzen's level. She's mental.
Martial there just played the ball slightly behind Cavani on a break, but Martial did a really nice turn. Cavani's come on. We said that, didn't we?
It's funny we got 2 strikers now running around looking for their first goal.
When's the
last
time?
Oh, what a ball!
Oh, that's a nice header. That just caught it.
Give it, Martial.
It's it. Go on, go on, Marcus.
Oh my god! Shoot! Oh,
bro,
fuck
you
that
gotta
up.
pass that.
If he scores that, I'm just going home.
Yeah.
I am just fucking leaving if he scores that.
Once he
That
got
was
in, he
filthy.
should've passed.
He's
That was
feeling
amazing.
good tonight, isn't he, Rashford? He's feeling good. Saxon Warrior says, soon to be King Sir Dr. Marcus Rashford.
After that, he should have passed it.
MBE.
Then,
there.
it shot the early
When
first
Upper
one.
Meccano squared
As an
him.
example of how mental it is that Salford was paying
I'd
like
love him
80
if he
to
got a
100 grand a
hat-trick.
year when he was at Drawson level, we've taken players from Drawson's level. And they pay subs.
Super Jeff from Maxi. Thought Howson said the system will not work. 3-0.
But he also said
I said I'd be surprised.
it won't work. It shouldn't work on paper, but we'll win.
Yeah.
It's not his type on paper.
That's a Love Island reference from about 4 years ago.
Marshall's head's gone.
Do you think?
He just wants to score now. So he's running all over the place. What? He looks like me sometimes when I get angry at goals. It's good though. You want to see a player hungry for goals. He never used to be like that.
No.
He never used to be hungry for goals. I want to go. I want to go. You can tell him he wants a goal.
I
now.
own it.
But he actually needs to get a
Sounds
goal,
like
though, doesn't
donut. Says
I don't think he does.
doesn't think I've watched 20% of the game. I have.
If you're
I can
winning,
talk,
you don't need a
you worry
goal.
about me.
I think he does need
He
a
needs
goal
to
at some
win.
point.
He needs a goal when it's 0-0.
But here's the thing, though, Adam. I think if you're going to play him as a number 9, as the main striker at the club, you have to hold him to the standards of other
No,
number
of course.
9s at
But when
United.
you're winning,
You can't say he doesn't need to
but
score.
if your team is winning, you're offside, Cavani. If your team's winning,
Go on to Fred.
here you go.
Tony,
Oh, that's
penalty.
a penalty.
Yeah, you're giving a pen for that, mate. Give it your shit house. Let's
Penalty.
give it 4-0.
We're
Marshall
battering
take
these.
it.
We're battering these, lads.
Let Marshall
Sorry,
take it.
are we battering these?
Yeah.
I think we might be.
We haven't battered them for the game, but we are now. We are now.
4-0's a bumming.
Zip it. That
But
pass
you know
from
what I
Rashford
mean.
there.
Yeah, but 4-0's a bumming.
4-0's a B double M in, mate.
He's
can
onside. He's well onside.
No assist. Richie Allen,
Straights do it as well.
€5. I know. Last one, always you lads on watching the game at low volume. What? Last one.
Last one,
volume.
always
Watching
watching
the
you
game.
and got the game on low volume.
Thank
He's
you.
not criticising our volume like everybody else.
Following Full-Time Devils for years and love Stretford Paddock, a truly fab channel that has to be the envy of all.
Thank you for watching.
We love you, Richie.
Thank you.
Because otherwise, we're just well weird.
Martial
If no
being
one
given the
watches.
penalty by Bruno. The same. Do you remember when?
I'm not watching this
Do you remember when Bruno gave Rashford a penalty to get him back in the zone
he's
after
gonna miss this,
lockdown?
you know.
Do you
He's
remember?
going to miss this.
Is B-check going to
remember
fucking...
that?
He's going to miss this.
I remember.
We've got Gulash in there. Beat a check.
Beat a check.
Go on, Tony. Stick it in. He's good at penalties. He'll score. And he has scored.
Ooh, he
4-0.
missed his
last
4-0.
one.
Manchester
was
United
close,
are
though.
beating RB Leipzig
Yes!
4-0. Great bit of goal difference as well tonight.
He looks relieved now.
Yeah.
Now watch, he's popped.
Can we get 5? Because
Arsenal.
5-0 at home to Leipzig is fucked. Look at his face. Look at him. Go on, Ollie.
Leipzig, yeah? All you pussy-holes that talk about this manager, yeah? What's his name? Thomas Tuchel or whoever he is, yeah? Nagelsmann.
Patterson's
Tuchel.
tweeted, biggest club in the world,
We
turn over an energy drink.
Fucking slap these like every week. And you's like here crying about them.
Is that not off the line as well?
Don't matter, does it?
Who
It's not when
cares?
it's nestled in the back of the net.
Nagelsmann tactical masterclass. Yeah, just steal my tweets, why don't you? Fucking Casey.
You never said you were going to tweet that.
I just wrote his tweet for him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Thought
You
you wrote it.
You didn't say Nagelsmann Tactical Masterclass. Casey, you wrote it. Tweet it. Thank you. You better retweet that, Adam, because it's what you think,
Go
innit?
fuck himself.
Dickhead.
What the fuck is going on? He did the throwing, you dickhead.
This
I'll
is good.
I'll actually retweet it for you.
for you. This is good, innit? This is good. 4-0 Man United.
Jay's views on this game. His last twat.
His last what?
His last tweet.
His last twat.
That would have been good.
Go on. Bruno
Offside.
to Cavani's offside.
Offside?
Oh, what a finish!
Offside?
He's miles offside.
I don't think anyone's ever been
You know,
more
from that last
offside.
attack, he was also 20 yards offside then
Yeah.
as well, wasn't he?
He's miles offside.
It was a weird finish. He chipped it in. from
For anyone that's missed Jay today, his last couple of tweets, his last one was "Eat that, you C-bomb."
Jesus.
Actually, it wasn't as offside as I thought he was.
That
He's still
linesman
offside.
is a massive Tory.
Eat that UCUNT.
Show me.
Started.
Show me.
No, it started.
Oh no.
Oh no.
If you want to get this T-shirt, the link is in the description and that one. Yeah. Rashford's feeding kids and men.
We've won
anything they can't
75% of our tackles. They've only won 33% of theirs. Is
Gives a
that
shit.
the difference?
do. Gives a shit.
We've also got 8 shots off inside the box. They've had 6 though.
I wonder if the papers are going to call Nagelsmann naive and lacking tactics, and it was a real coming of age or one of them things where it's
no.
They won't, will they?
No.
He was shown up tonight.
What's it going to be? Is it going to be individual brilliance from Marcus Rashford, who saves all the kids?
Marcus Rashford and Fred, who put the tackle in on the edge of the box, and Martial, who's been excellent.
Mason, Marcus, and Marshall scored today. All 3 of them.
Triple M. M and
All
M
3
and
of our
M.
little babies scored.
Brilliant.
Don't you just feel like a proud dad?
I do, yeah. And I'm actually older than all 3 of them.
The front 3 are the future.
T-shirt.
Come on, give us a model it.
Until Bruno, I was never happy, which is well out of tune. I understand, but I wanted to go with Ollie, and he said Bruno.
Yeah, because
it's obviously from the Stone Roses song, which is why there's a lemon.
Because we already got Ollie
Bruno,
t-shirt.
I wasn't happy.
Ollie's at the wheel.
But
we need to make a Matador one, don't we?
Yeah,
we do.
Or
him
a Dutch Donny one. Oh, can we get one with XXX on it?
And him with one of them
Dutch Donny.
like Matador jackets on, outfit with like a thing in the United shirt. Lift it up. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Dom?
Only if you wear the t-shirt.
I'll wear it.
So was it just vibes tonight, or is Ollie actually mint?
Yeah, was this just all vibes, no tactics again tonight from Ollie, was it?
Vibes, Carteta.
I do like the term all tactics. No vibes, just tactics. Fuck off. Can't speak. I'm happy about this. I'm really happy. I was worried. I said 2-1.
I said 2-0.
Jay,
I think I said we were going to lose.
On the radio,
obviously, I'm fucking delighted.
You keep saying we're going to lose, Steve. You need to grow a pair and predict some wins.
We were 3-0 up and he said we could still lose. Or 2-0. One of them scores, he said we could still lose.
Epic Affinity with a 499 super chat said, imagine how many goals would be up by if Ollie had tactics.
Just vibes, mate.
It's a great point, isn't it? Also, how much more fun is it just winning 4-0 with pure vibes? Because the vibes are good, aren't they? Who cares if it's just vibes? Look what's happening. Top of the league, top of the group. We're not top of the league, but pretend we are. All vibes.
Tactics, just banter.
That's the Stretford Paddock Watchalong's motto.
Lads.
That's our motto,
Yeah.
Lads, this is Champions League stuff.
This is real shit.
Group of death, 6 out of 6 points.
6 goals scored, 6 points gained.
5+ goal difference.
Fuck the Tories. Everyone's a winner.
Love Marcus Rashford.
Gotta say, Upamecano had a really bad audition.
No, it's good. We're trying to drill his price down.
Yeah, 18 million.
That's what he said. Add a word, lad. Smash him and go, look, he's clearly fucking shit.
Who's that in that corner over there?
It's a big old Eddie C, that.
No. Who passed
Scott McTominay.
Scott McTominay did well there.
He did
What the fuck is that from the B-Tech check?
These vibes, man. Some of the best vibes I've ever had this. Sensational.
Can you imagine how good it would be to win a Champions League doing this?
Pure
Apart from the fact that we were doing it like this.
Just
Which would
11
be shit.
11 vibesmen on the pitch, 1 on the touchline.
Joe, here's what I want. I want to be back in the stadium.
Yeah.
And I don't want to remember a fucking...
Oh! You set him up for that!
Yes! Come on!
Fucking yes!
There's the fucking hat-trick off the bench. Adam's put a hole in the wall. Man United, 5. Marcus Rashford has scored 3 of them. Oh, look at these vibes. All vibes.
Is that
no
his first
tactics.
hat-trick?
First ever hat-trick, I think, for Marcus Rashford. Off the bench.
Off the fucking bench!
Sensational.
Off the bench! Off the bench!
Is that his first Champions League game at Old Trafford?
No.
Oh.
Don't get
No, I was
too
going to say a little bit like Rooney.
People in the comments, the vibes are unreal. They absolutely are unreal.
That was great play by Marshall as well.
Yeah, Marshall did really well there. Goal and assist for Marshall tonight. Some of the vibes. The t-shirt.
Bags of the vibes from my title.
Yo.
He's brought United Hope tonight. It is available on our website in the comments. And the profits will be donated to Fair Share campaign, helping out with Marcus Rashford's charity as well. So if you get this t-shirt...
Cut the t-shirt, feed some kids.
Yeah.
And rep Marcus
Fuck
Rashford.
Tories!
All vibes, no tactics on a t-shirt, please, said someone.
Yes.
We will do that if we win the league.
If we win anything.
When we win the league,
We have to win a trophy, and then you've got Ollie holding that up, and then it says...
No vibes.
No tactics,
No Carteta.
just vibes. Perfect.
Dom,
But
if you're watching, I've just WhatsApped you my title. Thank you.
Title, Sir Marcus Rashford. When was
Casey's
the last
not
United
looking.
hat-trick? Marshall got one against Sheffield United last season.
Yeah, like literally about 3 months ago.
Yeah, we
mate.
score goals now.
If we could have got a goal for Cavani tonight, it would have been a perfect game.
Full time.
Thank you, Manchester United, for not fucking up our Wednesday. Yeah, I'm going to stand up.
Man United have won 5-0.
No one's got ahead of this.
Mate. Hey, listen, shout out to you lot in the comments, you fucking legends. Shout out to Marcus Rashford, feeding kids and smashing Germans. Shout out to Nagelsmann for the worst jacket ever worn inside Old Trafford. Shout out to him. Shout out to everyone behind the fucking camera. We've got preview, fan cams, reviews, all the shit coming out right now. Give us a fucking Stretford Paddock, formerly full-time Devils, the greatest fan channel that the world's ever fucking seen. Supporting the greatest club that the world's ever fucking seen, brother. And I'll see you in the next one. Later.